And welcome to Anonymous Bites Back, episode 100. We made it. We fucking made it to 100 episodes. This is crazy.
Awesome. Yeah.
Considering we started off as a joke. The show started off as a joke, a little precursor about the show. Another show that airs on Facebook only. Said that they could do a better. We're trolling one of our guys, and we said we could do a better show, and we're still around. And multi-streaming on 4 different platforms, and have kind of stayed consistent throughout the whole year. I think it was around this time last year we started.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know what we were going to say. We just went live. We didn't even know what we were doing. We literally had a streamer and went live with no topics. Oh God.
It's one of those situations when somebody asks you, "Oh, do you think you can do better?" And you're like, "Yeah, I think I can."
I do.
Yeah, I think we should thank all these people who stayed with us for like a year already.
And heads off to our Twitch viewers and to our Twitter viewers. We got a couple of there. And our new Russian audience, the BK, you guys are fucking awesome. Yeah, exactly. We will be shortly moving over towards the future of AVB. Will shortly be moving on to more streaming profiles or streaming sites, particularly because we've lost our YouTube streaming capabilities, and I believe, honestly, without a doubt, that was politically motivated. We got a strike on a copyright from a VHS clip from 1994, and I've been hearing from other people that if you have political or activist content, you will lose you will be demonetized, which that's already happened. Like we never even had enough viewers to get anything. It doesn't even matter. We would just give it away to donations anyway. But the thing is that they don't want us live streaming there at all until March. So we will be moving on to different streaming platforms shortly. But Facebook has kind of lost its value. We will keep on streaming here until Facebook kicks us off. But for a heads up, if you guys want to join any of those other social media platforms, that would be super. I would highly recommend at least getting a Twitter account. You know,
Yeah.
And VK is so similar to Facebook.
Yeah.
This last year has been the hardest on censorship. I mean, I got booted out. I got my entire Facebook account shut down for that Oprah speech, like the most viewed speech on the internet that day. And they slapped me for copyright infringement, but it had been like an ongoing, they're always looking for some reason to shut down our pages.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing, and especially since a lot of the social media giants have got into an agreement, we're almost forced to go on to subpar network. Not subpar. A lot of them are undervalued, but
it's just the people, and right now there's a lot of different platforms that are out there. This is kind of the .com frenzy that's going on, but eventually everyone will settle down on one of them.
More and more people go to other platforms too now. You see
but
that
honestly,
moving.
Facebook censoring, me personally, I don't know about the page and all of that, but on me personally and our pages, Facebook censoring me has made us more popular than ever. Every time they censor one of my posts, I get another 1,000 followers. So I'm not sure if they've realized this at any point, but it really does make me more popular. Every time, it doesn't matter what they shut down. If I say, hey, they're censoring me, boom, 1,000 more viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the episode will be seen in the end.
Running for the Facebook ads.
Yeah, we'll just keep sharing in the end. Eventually it will be seen by enough people. Just not live right now, but we'll just keep on sharing until it's seen. So.
And I mean, we're making our own social media platform. There's about 7 of them that are kind of in competition right now. There'll be more to come. We can't look at it that we're social media somehow, the internet is somehow static. And that's, what Facebook is trying to push. Facebook is just another step in a long line of how we use social media and different platforms. There's going to be platforms that come out soon here. They're going to blow Facebook away.
Oh yeah, especially I'm almost positive that this Chinese company that's got Alibaba attached to, the Tron Foundation, I think that they're working on a decentralized social media platform. I'm not like I don't have enough time to follow Justin from from the Tron Foundation, so I'm kind of like not up to par of where they're at with all that. But
well, I mean, what we're using ours for is distributed computing. So you get to use this social media platform, encrypted messaging, all the stuff you can do on Facebook, but without the government breathing down your neck or them selling your personal information. But on top of that, it uses distributed computing to hook all of those devices together and crunch numbers for cancer research.
Yeah.
For research into MS. So we're going to be unpopular on a couple of different fucking levels, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you all work together, it's gonna be much better, And like you say, it's gonna be more platforms, more like you say, Facebook is one,
It's the internet, nothing but but the information is permanent.
Yeah, even if you get a DCMA cease and desist, it doesn't matter. It's still on
there. Yeah. Once it's on the internet, it's on there forever. I love how politicians will post something or they'll do you do know that because you hit delete, it's not gone. Like we already have it. As soon as you posted it, we knew about it. Like why even make the attempt?
That is true. When something is deleted, it's not really gone, depending on where it is or how it's sent or where it's going to. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, besides people, watching and have screenshotted whatever people post. On top of that, it's information technology. Like nothing is ever deleted. Nothing. Besides, in some cases, maybe running a high-powered magnet over your hard drive, and even then, starting to become less and less viable. They can actually go back. It used to be that you could just have a little electromagnet on top of your hard drive. If you got one of those knocks on the door, you flip the switch and they couldn't get it anymore. But that's not necessarily the case anymore.
Yeah,
I would. I'd go with the Clinton campaign style and just start smashing iPads.
Yeah, remember what she said? I remember who sent me that quote of what Hillary actually said when she was being interrogated by the FBI. Like, what wiping? What is that? Like cleaning?
Yeah, I'm sure.
With a handkerchief.
With a handkerchief.
Yeah, I don't even want if that doesn't say like mafia, they didn't have drugs in there, but that's the equivalent of trying to fucking flush shit down the toilet. Oh shit, it's a raid!
Let me see what is going on. So, I did want to comment on to a few things that were going on in the news. Specifically, it was the Florida shooting. I kind of want to talk briefly on that because this is what you're going to see in the following days. They're going to turn it into a Second Amendment raid. This could have been prevented, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that all of the installments to deter somebody from purchasing a firearm are already there, which already infringe on what the Second Amendment stands for. But also, I hate to say this. This is more of a community. How should I say this? All the warning signs were there before this kid did this shit. And
Facebook, and stuff.
And we always turn to the officials, and of course the FBI fucking didn't handle this shit correctly. But then again, what's the only thing that they can do is investigate what the problem. This is more of a, I was going to say it was a parenting issue, but then I learned that his parents were dead. But this is leading more
Mental problems.
Yeah, this is leading more towards a community issue. Somebody should have gone the extra mile to to counsel this kid. I heard the social workers and everybody were called out, but how many of them actually attempted to go the 110% and to figure out what can be done?
Well, and look, I mean, there's a lot of blame for every one of these. When you look back at a tragedy, there's always a million reasons for different things that you could be done. Look, the gun problem in our country, and this is, on the show we have all sorts of different opinions. So, look, this is, I'm going to lay a couple of things out here. I'm sorry, it's going to take a minute, but this is something, as a military person, as someone that owns guns, that is like important to me. I believe in our Second Amendment rights. We have a tyrannical government. We, to some extent, need guns. We also need a well-regulated militia, which this shooting has absolutely nothing to do with any of those things.
Exactly.
What people aren't talking about is that every single one of these last shootings, those same psycho-hallucinogenic drugs, blah, 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 whatever psychotropic drugs, the antidepressants that they have these guys, every single one, all the way back to fucking Columbine, guys. And it's something that not a single person will even mention.
Oh,
right?
a lot
On
of them
top
were
of
on
that,
drugs when it was psychotropic antidepressants. Yeah.
Yeah, all of these guys, the last, the Vegas shooter, all of that. Yeah, we need background checks for people to keep people that are on these drugs, that are on, that have issues from getting weapons, right? We can look at these things without immediately running to the, oh my God, they're trying to take all our guns. Now, there are people in our government that are doing that. And there are people on the other side that's only interest is the money they get from the NRA. You know what I mean? Like, these things are completely, like, open but not talked about.
It's a little bit of culture too, like in the South, and I say there's a culture. And when I lived there, you don't see big crimes or whatever, but yeah, it's always one thing, and they make it like, take the guns away, this, that. Yeah, it's a culture, and you cannot take something away from
look. If the
people.
deal is, hey, we need to have our guns to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. Tell them, look, we'll make you an honest deal. You put it in our Constitution, right, permanently, that you cannot use government and military force against civilian personnel on U.S. fucking soil in fucking writing, and we can have that conversation. But that's not the case, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is you don't need a gun to murder people. You can make bombs from household stuff, and it's not going to help anything to ban guns. I mean, if you're like crazy, you can always murder people in different ways.
It'll help. I don't think it'll help these. It'll help some mass killings banning guns. I don't think that's the answer in any way, shape, or form. But having actual gun legislation is a good deal. Though, like a gun for every hand and a cap for every ass deal is not working well for us.
I caught CNN in a lie. Like, I guess apparently they had some gun expert, like, and CNN is the clown news network now. But anyway, so like they had an expert saying that there is no federal legislation to deter people with mental illnesses from buying a firearm federally, and I know that that's not true. I think
the assault rifles ban was lifted, in the last, I think, 15 years, something like that, when the Bushes were in. Each state pretty much makes up its own laws on what you are allowed to have. You could be, I think, look, Wisconsin's like 15 to buy a rifle, right? And your AR-15s fit inside of that. The Bushmasters fit inside of that. They're a rifle.
Yeah.
There are other states where you have to be 21, 18. There's some states where you can't have a handgun, showing. Some states where you can't, blah, 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 blah. But there isn't any standard regulation, and gun shows throw all that out the window.
Oh, yeah. You can literally go to a gun show, pay the guy in cash, and walk out with an AR-15. For real.
mean, there's no look. I go to like that's the deal though. Like I own firearms, right? The scary AR-15, right? My Bushmaster, we own several of them. That's not really what the point is. We're also all stable people, and you have to keep people
Yeah,
that aren't stable from getting them.
that's like I'm
Or we
saying.
can't.
Also, this
We
culture. You guys, you are used to this, and like here in Europe, we don't have this, but we can own a gun. But we, if you have mental problems, you must do psychology tests, and um, you
Oh,
must
look,
be an adult.
in Germany, the background checks to getting a gun is the most expensive. But then again, per capita, Germans have the most guns than any other country.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Yeah,
talking about countries in the West, the countries in the Western world. Like, look, the Australia hasn't had a mass shooting since 1996. New Zealand's got like zero point 0.3 gun murder rate. It's insane that we're arguing, and you know what I mean, that there's nothing that can be done rationally when the rest of the world has figured it out. Now, that's not saying, like, I do have to say, New Zealand's government will never kick in your door, right, to take your land and steal your shit, right? If you're a Black Panther in America, right, that's not the case. If you're somebody that politically don't like, they will send hired thugs to your house to shoot you. That's not the case other places in the world. The English government isn't trying to kick in your door and steal your land, right? Isn't trying to take things from you. If there's things that happen in America that don't happen in other countries.
That is true. That is true.
yeah,
But we can't organize. The militia part is so important, and they have done everything humanly possible to completely erase the actual first part of the Second Amendment.
You're right, and the more they've also, I mean, technically, the way that the Second Amendment is written, there really should be no bar on what kind of firearm or what we can buy. So if a military can have a automatic grenade launcher, a civilian should be able to to own a automatic grenade launcher. And the purpose of the Second Amendment was so that civilians could overthrow and topple a tyrannical government.
Well, and okay, there is a bit of history that's behind this. Our founding fathers had just been oppressed by a country with an amazingly huge standing army. They personally felt that if America had a standing army, that we would impose our will on other countries around the world. To keep that from happening, they supported a regulated militia. So each state, county, whatever, would have its own militia, and if there was ever anything that was really pressing that we had to unite, we would have to unite to be able to do it. That was completely erased after World War I. And we changed to having the military-industrial complex. And if you see, that's changed our culture and our standing in the world since then.
Yeah, everybody hates us. I mean, they think of us as the United States as these crazy imperialist assholes. Which
that's what they tell here.
I mean, but basically, I mean, like, that's our government.
We should quit being imperialist assholes.
That's our government and the psychos that control this country. But the people that live in the country, it's a different story, man.
But if you have a gun, this is what I want to say too. As I live in the United States, I have a gun, and I drink, and have a fight with somebody. You're gonna to take faster a weapon or whatever, and you don't know what you are doing, or you have mental problems or whatever. You're gonna take fast a gun or something. Do you think so? I don't know, but like here in Europe, we don't have guns. Yeah, some people have, but it's not everyone. But if I'm like now drunk and I have a fight, I cannot now take a gun and hey, boom. If you don't know what you're doing and you are drunk or you are on drugs or mental problems, whatever, you're gonna take faster a gun if you have one or not. I don't know, but to be a little bit like laws that they must track people from people that have mental problems, and for this, that they really track people. Background check.
We don't have a mental health system. I mean, we don't have a health system. So to track somebody with mental health problems,
exactly.
you don't actually have to start to do that. You're on your own.
Yeah, that's true.
And the fact that you come in, rounding, screaming crazy about Muslims and this and that doesn't necessarily bar you from going and buying a gun. There's an elephant in the room. Like, once again, this guy is still connected to these stupid ass white supremacist groups. Like, when the fuck are we going to finally smash this terrorist organization that preys on young men like this?
Yeah.
Right? Are you feeling out of touch? Have your parents been killed? Right? The white knights are there for you. And we would like you to, they will wound these kids up into doing something like this. Right? McVeigh, all of these guys have the same connections. How long are we going to let this terrorist organization operate in America?
But you were right about this welfare thing. Yeah, if you don't have a correct system there for track these people, yeah, that's a problem from the government. That's something. Yeah, you're right with this. Yeah.
Yeah, but in Belgium it's difficult to get a gun. But like in my country, in the Netherlands, it's difficult to get a gun too. But there are 500,000 illegal guns on the market.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I live in a small country, right? There's only like 17 million people, but there are 500,000 illegal guns, and we can't have guns. But all the guns are like on the illegal market now, so there's absolutely
And I
no.
would say when it comes to that, like when we say those, look, Somalia isn't building M4s and AK-47s in the basement, right? We sell those guns.
That is true.
Yeah.
There comes a point that the guns that we sell in the Middle East, the guns that if you want to undermine your current Russian government, the guns that we give to those bad people end up back here. But they're, the black market, the mafia organizations
That's
around
a big
the world,
market. The big market.
they don't have gun manufacturing plants, right? We sell them those guns.
Yeah.
I was going to say for the most part, but there is underground manufacturing plants, But for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you look in comparison, it's not that way. I mean, they're open about these contracts. When we sell, let's say, $10 billion of weapons to the Saudi Arabian government, where do you think those fucking guns go?
For the Saudis, those go towards ISIS and God knows where else. The Taliban, whatever faction, whatever proxy war that they're fighting. So.
Yeah, when we sell
They're gonna
surface-to-air
Wahhabis.
missiles to Ukrainian rebels that are against the Russian government at the moment, where do you think they get those surface-to-air missiles? It's one of those, like...
like here too, and Europe too. I know places now, like in Antwerp, Brussels. I know people. I go to there. I can buy a gun easy, $50 on black market. Yeah, and it's John say, there are so much illegal guns, on the black market that we don't know about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would
always to the wrong people.
I'd tell everybody to look back at the Fast and Furious thing that has seemed to have disappeared altogether. So, I mean, in this case, the CIA was selling machine guns and drugs to the FBI. They couldn't even find any actual bad guys to sell the guns to. The only two bad people that they could find were themselves.
Yeah.
In a world where there's all those drug dealers and all these cartels and all these people that they're always telling us about, they couldn't even find one to sell a gun to. They had to set up the illegal organization, set up the illegal drug buys on two separate sides. The FBI and CIA don't talk to each other.
It's
and
like
then got into a shootout with ourselves.
It's like this one movie. I like this movie. It's with Nicolas Cage. This is the War. No, Lord of War. No.
Yeah, Lord of War. That movie. Yeah.
That's what happened a lot. It's still busy. Like the Uzis and like the Russian things, the Kalashnikovs. These are. It's still busy. It's mafia thing.
The leader of ISIS right now, and this dude is literally, I mean, in plain view of everybody, decked out from head to toe in U.S. equipment. Not even hidden. They couldn't even make the attempt to buy AK-47s and give them those. These are direct military issue U.S. ordnance from head to toe. His shirt, his fucking his boot, all the way down to his boots, man.
But is this all new material or left behind from the Iraq War? Or?
it's one of those things like when you left behind 200 million M4s, what the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Oh yeah, in
Yeah.
Iraq they just abandoned it all. That's right.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
all the way Vietnam, you still see the pictures of them pushing the helicopters and stuff off, right? When we
Yeah.
leave a place, if we leave munitions, we blow it up and melt it all down so the enemy can't use it. But in this one case, for some reason, we just felt the need to leave warehouses full of munitions.
Well, we got a little smarter. We prepare our next base for our launching platform.
Yeah, we didn't leave anything in Vietnam's. Like, I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, that's the kernel of this problem. The people that like have figured that out, the people that are running our system are so fucking stupid. This isn't just the gun problem in America. It's not just like the green energy problem, the fossil fuels problem. These assholes could not figure out anything. Shit, they've been working on North Korea for 60 years.
That's
You know, like, there isn't a problem that these guys can figure out. They can't figure out the economy. They can't figure out healthcare. They can't figure out how to bring peace to the world. They can't figure out how to fix our fuel, you know, our energy problem. They can't figure out how to fix our roads and bridges. And they can't figure out how to fix our gun problem. I'm not fucking surprised.
Yeah. That's true. If you cannot fix the first problems, then you cannot fix the last.
Yeah,
you
come on,
know?
these guys couldn't fix a leaky sink. I mean, it's just like,
And
what have y'all accomplished? Like, is anybody just asked, like, right out, what would you count as a win?
it's a good
I was
question.
gonna say,
Paid
like,
off the bank, and we got like a killer tax break for our rich buddies.
I don't know. I wouldn't say there's been any success, to be honest with you. We lied to ourselves and say that shit's getting done, but essentially we're falling into it was a falling of an empire. So it's nothing's a success anymore.
Yeah, like, it's, you know, things that we were winning on. Look, I mean, we can go down the list. It's just, you know, the things that were supposed to work out for us have just been squandered, like, over and over and over again. It's down to things when we do have these tragedies and we do have the gun debate. Our politicians have their standard bullshit that they've been saying from the beginning. You know, they immediately break into the same mantras, like they were fucking robots. Like, why come out and give a speech? Just reprint the one that you print every time there's a mass shooting.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the gun advocates, the anti-gun advocates, come out every time there's a fucking shooting. Like, how many more of these must happen? How many more? How many more? How many more? Let's make a vote on it. How many more? Those get a little bump stocks. Like, you can make anybody who has any technical mind can do the same action as a bump stock by putting their belt through the trigger pull on any semi-automatic rifle. You know. So.
Yeah, there's so many other things you can do to murder people, right? It's not the guns. It's
mean, number one thing is we have to fix the mental health issue in America. Like, we have to fix that. A lot of these. Okay, yes. I mean, look, I don't know how else to explain it. Yeah, there's lots of shit that needs to be done and needs to have rational people talk about it. But at the end of the day, if you shoot up a school full of children, right, there's something not right. Okay, you have to be crazy to shoot up your Las Vegas. You have to be crazy at that point to do it, and yet it's not addressed at all. You should not be able to have those kind of be on those medications and have firearms. But on the same note, we have to ask ourselves: do these people need to be on these medications? If this medication makes you load up full of, thousands of rounds of ammunition and shoot up your friends, maybe we don't need to be pushing this drug.
They don't must take action on his guns, but more, like you say, on the first problems.
Yeah, I would say that the mental health situation.
Yeah.
As far as public services, and how much government funding there is towards it is a shit show. It's an absolute fucking joke. I mean, you'll get, even if you do get public outreach services through funding, you'll get literally 2 3 psychiatrists and they'll have 300 on their caseload. You know, like it's a fucking shit show. You know.
Oh no, you'll talk to people that are dealing with like homeless, mental health and trying to deal with trauma and all of that. And half of the people that I talk to are like, no, I work a services job, but 90% of what I do is volunteer. There's nobody paying them.
Yeah.
Like they're going down to the homeless shelters and talking to people, or they're going down to talk to this kid. They're not getting paid for it at all.
Yeah, they used to have the state funded long term care facilities, which used to help the homeless population. But
But
even those have disappeared to the point, like
is it in every
Which is
state different in the United States? Is it in every state different kinds of welfare things or mental things? Is it
I
different kind of law?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
There's a lot of difference in each, and there's a lot of difference in each state, even to what you can, what's considered, a mental health problem, or
Yeah.
what's even considered, dangerous. You're certain states, there's people they beat the fuck out of their wife every other weekend. They may
Yeah.
never go to jail for it.
Yeah,
And there's
but
other states that are extremely, vicious on it. Where if you've got, one domestic assault, you can't get a firearm, or you can't,
that's one
there's
thing that I like in Europe that they want to try to like all the countries now. We had all different kind of laws, but we are now Europe, and I like this that they now to try to do make all the same laws, and
But
every
you guys also seem to agree on things that, like, without states' rights, America would be a completely different place.
yeah.
California and the West Coast moves to green power and cannabis legislation, right? In other states in the same that are accepting what the federal government is pushing, they're putting millions of people in prison, and you know what I mean. They're doing what if those states didn't have those states' rights? The federal government comes up with some extremely shitty ideas.
yes, they do. I was going to say, speaking of which, that was one of our topics for tonight. The city of Berkeley declared itself a sanctuary state from the DEA.
Please God.
For real,
Yeah, I
for
mean, I
real.
didn't
They're in
realize.
open
I
rebellion.
love this. Yeah, I love the sanctuary thing. I don't know, like the amount of like crazy laws that are swinging around us are.
You know what I see? You know what I see a lot. Particularly in the state that I live, is I do see a swing between what the federal government is doing and what my state and other states are kind of jumping on board. Like it's kind of like a standoffish shit. Like state laws are not in a lot congruence with federal law, and that's going to lead to some friction. And in fact, that was a majority of some of the other topics I was going to talk about tonight. But I do see a major shift going on.
Well, I mean, it's just that at the moment, okay, it seems like a lot of people voted Republican. They had a lot of really high expectations. Look, a lot of people voted for Obama, and after 4 years, look, after that first speech when he said he was going to give a couple $1 trillion to the banks that just fucked us and not put anybody in jail, I knew that.
And the Lehman
Hey,
Brothers
this
lost
is
like 20 billion
probably
of it.
yeah. So like all the way up into there, I worked for the Obama campaign. I was like, this is gonna oh fuck, right? And I think a lot of people are in that situation with Trump at the moment. Um, that fuck moment that they're having. Um, so there is like a big push to get independence and new ideas into government, but it's you saw when the big push to the right, you had the oh goodness, what was that kind of Republican, the Tea Partiers, and all of that were in response to Obama getting elected. We're seeing that kind of similar event again.
Yeah.
A lot of Republicans are going to be out of a job, in November. But if we don't get the right people in power, they'll be back, in 4 to 8 years.
That is true. And I do see I just wanted to mention to our viewers that you're going to see a lot this year, Russian bots and Russian meddling, but it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Well, like what they're doing is bullshit, but not. This is the problem with the Russian bot things. I'm gonna take like the devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
right? Because what the bots like pushed about the Clinton campaign was true, right? She is a Goldman Sachs puppet, right? She is corrupt as fuck. They did spend, steal all that money. And all of the bots and all of the people, all of the influence about Trump was completely true as well. Like, it's not like either of these sides are spreading like lies. They're just telling you they're telling the truth on both sides of that equation. So I hope the Russian bots really do more work.
Yeah, if it's all true, it needs to be known. So yeah.
Well,
yeah. So I mean, so it's not like they're accusing Russia of spreading lies about Trump or Clinton. They spread the truth. Y'all corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, what is up with this? What is up with this Trump and Stormy Daniels, the porn star, that's getting hush-hushed? Like what the fuck is that shit about? Like Trump and a porn star? Like, what the fuck?
Don't like take our word for
Hey,
this,
that's
right?
a story.
Try to post a picture of Melania Trump on Facebook, right, on social media. Every single one of them has it blocked already. The deal is, when she was pregnant with their little boy, he tagged Stormy Daniels, and he paid her off. Had his lawyer pay it off. I reckon she's real pissed about it. It's probably not a good time to have that shit come up with everything else. I don't think that she knew about it, which is bad. I don't think that this is really, out of all of the horrible things that they're doing, all that important of a point any more than Clinton's BJ. But the other side will jump all over it. You should have never given them that opportunity.
I mean, dude,
He lied about that. He lied about that, BJ, though.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I did not have sexual relations with her, but she saved the dress with this.
Yeah, but he was under investigation for something completely different, and the entire country got distracted by his BJ. That was tactical.
Yeah, that's true.
It was the Louvre cigars. That was classy.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the U.S. Senate is staring you in the face or not. If your wife is standing next to you and they ask if you got a blowjob from your fucking intern, the answer is no. Well, you put your hand on the Bible and swore, this bitch is gonna kill me when I get fucking home if I say yes to that. And normally I wouldn't throw the word bitch at like as a derogatory term. I realize that it's a derogatory term. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, she is a bitch.
No, this bitch will have me killed. She's done it before.
Yeah, but
this is life and death.
I've heard of, Hillary was having I've heard that Hillary was having these lesbian love affairs, like with I guess they're both bad people,
Oh, come on! Like, This is the deal. When I say that it was a tactical move, right? I'm not joking. Look, he had been a notorious dog for his entire career. Everybody knew about that. Everybody knew about that.
Yeah.
Everybody. But then when your investigation for something else, right, a sexual scandal will move the American's eye away from anything else. Right? And that is exactly what they used it for. Yeah, I don't, you can see between the two of them, between his relationships throughout, whenever, that's not a love relationship.
Yeah, it's
any more than the Trumps are.
Convenience.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can. I kind of knew that, when I saw that she wasn't particularly living in the White House at all, and she prefers to stay in a hotel, and they're not together. It's
just weird how all of these supermodels seem to always fall in love with billionaires. Fuck, it's got to be their cologne. Like, if you know what I mean, like at some point, you have to your bot marriage, probably just talking to her lawyers and on her way to spend the rest of her life spending his billions.
Well, gold diggers smell good when they have money.
Or maybe the same blood.
So
The smell of money.
heads up to I just need to mention this to our viewers. Apparently, we're getting shared and it's being marked as spam as we get shared. So woohoo! Thank you, Facebook, for fucking marking us as spam. But everybody,
Do
go
we still
ahead.
have our do we still have our
But that's
10
the
viewers or?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've told them this before. So for our special followers that are at Facebook, look at it this way. Watch this stream. At this very moment, this is now being censored by Facebook, censored by social media. So our viewers are going to share it out because they realize at that point what we're saying, you're trying to hide. You would have been better off to just let us do our thing, right? But if you try to silence us,
Yeah,
it'll only
pound.
get
Yeah.
shared more. And all we're
They
saying,
share
it's
it
not like we're
tomorrow. They
arguing.
share
We're
it
saying you
tomorrow
guys
or
are
whatever.
yeah, yeah, like it doesn't work that way.
Hmm.
Tried to squash us like that. They've tried to silence our voice. It's only made it worse. They put a bullet through MLK. Now he's the most quoted man on the internet.
I guess
Like, nice work.
Facebook doesn't like people telling the truth and what needs to be told.
Anything
It has
anti-government.
the opposite of it. Just has the opposite effect.
Yeah, I can tell you after this episode is going to be shared like virally.
Much more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like then the more people, the more times you take it down, the more people will download it and put it up. That's just the way that the internet works. I'm not sure. That's one of the reasons that we know we'll win this fight because y'all have no idea how the internet works.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like your arm's too short to box with God. Like this is our domain. Y'all have already fucked up the real world. We'll use this to unfuck it. That's the deal. Like you don't know what you're doing. Trying to silence people on the internet, taking down posts, it only makes them more popular. Right? How often does Assange actually post on his social media? How often do you block
he
it?
posts
How
a
often
lot,
does that?
and I was gonna hit on that today because that is one of the topics that we were gonna talk about. But
Oh yeah, but it's not that he
he's
doesn't post a lot.
he's
They
set shadow
censor the
banned.
shit
Yeah.
out of it, and
Yeah.
it only makes it bigger.
Well,
But thank you.
I kind of want to like go up to Facebook headquarters and just like come in and break stuff like a crazy person. Like fuck, what the fuck, you guys? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, how come Antifa never attacks Facebook? I mean,
No, because
I think that's something we could all agree on.
Antifa works for them, and I don't understand that, which is kind of like always made me think that maybe there's some truth to what Alex Jones has always said about them.
And that's something that's so sad with Alex, and I'm always giving him shit. I'm always trolling his Twitter and Facebook and all of that. But like, there is things that Alex Jones had exposed back in the day. I think they used the brain slug, right? However, money, politics, strings that they pulled. Maybe he's just pandering to an audience that he didn't expect to go in that direction, and now you're stuck pandering to that audience. It's where your bread and butter. I don't know what happened, but he exposed some really amazing things throughout the years. And if you go back, he interviews David Duke, the head of the Klan at that time, or spokesman for the Klan at that time. And fuck, man, he rips him apart. And yet now, most of, a lot of his followers are, white supremacists who fall into that fucking mindset. And to that point, the 1%, the oppressors, the FEMA stuff, like he's lost all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. There was a time, you guys can go look back into his Facebook. I used to post on his social media way back in the day, like conversations back and forth when he used to have a guy that did IT for him, talked about hacking and all of that stuff. And I actually messaged them to say, when he quits working there, like when he had quit, that I would be willing to help. And I see what they are now, and like, fuck, I am so glad I didn't end up caught up in that nightmare.
And not only that, like, I'm not sure if Alex knows that on the front end, like, how many places that he's streaming to, it's a shit show. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like whoever runs like Alex, if you're fucking listening, some of the places that you stream to, it's a shit show, and like your fourth show keeps on repeating every 20 minutes back to your
Mm.
show and somebody else's. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's terrible.
exactly.
It's terrible. But there's like a kernel there. Like there used to be something. I don't know what, why he lost that. And I'm kind of sad that he did. There was, some of the rituals. What was you guys remember the one that he busted into?
Oh yeah,
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. Yeah.
Grove. And I mean, he was on it, and he, the politicians that were there, he would stop them, and what the fuck is going on here, kind of thing. And he's lost like all of that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. They got to him.
Yeah, and the 9/11 thing too. Like, remember how he was like holding on to that? Like, 9/11 is an inside job. He was like
Yeah, and
busy
now
doing
the
that
world
always.
knows that the world, that look, the specifics exactly how. It's one of those things. We're not exactly sure how you fucked us, but you fucked us. You know what I mean? Like I don't know whether you used explosives or you knew about it or whatever it is, but y'all blew up Building 7. I know all of this. I just don't know exactly how you did it. You know what I mean? It's one of those, it's such a dirty situation, and you know that it doesn't look right, but because it's so secretive and the people that made the money are so powerful off of it, you can't really pin down exactly where they screwed us over at. Who set it up, how it went down. Me personally, I know this is not like something that everybody talks about, but the World Trade Centers were bombed back in the day once already, and they were designed to take a bomb from the bottom of the building, an old like building,
And they were designed to get hit by planes as well.
Yeah, but it was something that I don't think they expected to happen. In an old mafia trick in building, in union trick in building in mafia union, not actual unions, but when shit was run by bad people, was you would build some of the building at extremely high specifications, the places that that the person is going to check. And then the rest of the building you build out of shit materials that fall apart. And if you say, look, steel doesn't melt at, this temperature, at the temperature that fossil fuels melt at, or that the jet fuel burns at, that's 100% true. But if it's not made out of that material, if it's made out of, straight up iron, if your friends all made huge contracts selling it as being high grade steel, then it would fall apart.
That is true.
It's not that it changes the people that are involved at all, right? The same assholes that would have set it up to put it in free fall to make the money off the war, the same to get rid of the evidence in Building 7. Those same people are also the same people that were involved in the building contracts. The same people that would know that those top floors were not made out of the same materials that they were supposed to be on paper. That the checks that you were supposed to go through to investigate that were really people that were hired to check the box.
Yeah, okay, but then Building 7 is like the big smoking gun, right? Because you saw that BBC lady like saying like Building 7 has crashed, and you see it standing behind her, like it was like live on TV.
Look, they got rid of Building 7.
Yeah, where would you get that idea?
No doubt. Like we've actually talked about this before, because the reason Building 7 was put down is because the U.S. government lost a shitload of money,
on purpose.
a lot of money, and they were under investigation for it. And all of that paperwork, all of that investigation was held in Building 7. Now, this is the question that I have, right? So let's say you did an investigation into 100 people, right, and wrote up a paper. Out of those 100 people that you interviewed, if you were an FBI agent, only one of them, had the actual information that you wanted. After Building 7 went down, why did the investigation stop? Couldn't I just go back and talk to the one guy that told me that you were dirty as fuck?
Yeah.
Said, well, the building blew up, all of the papers burned out, so there's really nothing I could do. No, just go and talk to the one guy that had the information you needed. You don't know who that was?
Or the type of
you'd think,
remember
out of the 200 pages report that an FBI agent gives an investigation, only one of those pages is important. You know, the guy that gave you the that was the smoking gun that had the information for you. So when you redo it, you don't have to go back and talk to those other 99 people. Oh, well, the building blew up. Investigation over. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Remember, and then they had the 9/11 report, which is a bunch of bullshit. Like, it was just slapped together just to make people think that they did investigate it, like, properly, and it
Oh,
was
yeah, we
government sponsored.
investigated
So
ourselves and found out we did nothing wrong.
remember they were finding
Honestly,
evidence.
look,
Remember they were finding evidence in the dust on independent lab analysis of the dust that there was formulations of thermite with accelerant in it that you would only get if you had properly mixed it with military grade explosives. So I'm like,
I mean
uh,
that's all scientific shit. Remember when they just found old boy's fucking passport and then it turned out he didn't even get on the plane?
yeah, it was like it was like a mystery novel to a really bad soap opera. You know, like
Yeah, it's
you
just,
guys,
oh well, some random investigator was just walking down the street and happened to the entire plane was vaporized except for this dude's passport. And then the guy, didn't actually go through with it. You know, it was one of those FBI reports where they asked, "Hey, are you a terrorist?" and he was like, "Fuck America." And then it turned out he actually wasn't a crazy person. So like when they approached him and asked if he wanted to be involved in this, he was all like, "No, I'm not a terrorist. I just would like you to quit bombing my country."
oh, do you remember? Do you remember when they were looking into those the affiliations where they found the Disneyland tapes that were affiliated with some of the people, and they thought that those were bombing plans, and they investigated one of the family members that were affiliated with the Disneyland tapes, and there was all these plans that were written about bombing people and landing strips, but the guy was dead before they found it, and the guy's cousin was also schizophrenic and heard voices. And they thought this was a legit terrorist plot drawn on a piece of paper by a guy who hears voices.
$10 he could say, "Go to a gun show right now and buy a gun."
Probably.
He sounds
We
like
we
the
can get
perfect.
we
He
that's
sounds like the perfect candidate on an FBI
that
list for being a little bit nutty, written a bunch of shit. Maybe connected with terrorist organizations. Can we not? Can we not fast track this asshole to a piece?
that's a ham sandwich you can get indicted in front of a grand jury
Yeah.
right there, man.
That's almost as bad as the time when the
That's it.
FBI got caught. Remember when those mentally handicapped people, they gave them fake RPGs and shit and told them to go commit jihad, but they didn't. But they kind of antagonized these people with mental health to do it.
I wouldn't like. We had the. I mean, when I was deployed, they had those guys that were just like driving around, special forces team dressed up like terrorists, shooting people up. That ended up getting caught by the Iraqi police. That just like got swept under the rug. Like, why were y'all doing that? Like, who like okayed that and thought it was a good idea?
I don't
That's
know.
high level, man. That's super high level.
Our governments the world over have the worst ideas. I think we talked about this like before, right? The 1%. I think one of the problems is there's only 2,000 of them. So like their pool for good ideas, and I mean a lot of them are inbred. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you're rich doesn't mean you're the brightest of the bunch, right? I honestly think that they just don't have any good ideas.
Yeah.
Or and well, fossil fuels. Like those, that's it. If it's not those two things, they really that's their only game. Oh no, pharmaceuticals. We got in the pharmaceutical game good. So that's three.
If they make drugs that don't work, they think that fossil fuels is the end all to see all, which we're now that the price is toppling, they've been forced to look at other things, but there's still
Are you really like to those people? Are you really that fucking stupid? Can you not see the future? If you were smart, you would be investing, hand over fist into green energy.
well they
Hand over like
yeah go
there's
ahead.
so much. It's like the new energy source. We're going in that direction,
Well,
but yet they are that stupid.
you know what's funny is that I was talking about, even in where I live now, they've been the Toyota specifically has been pushing the hydrogen fuel cell car, and I see government sponsor, I see oil oil company trolls coming after it, saying that they're like these posts are not done by regular people.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to. It's a clean energy. It's clean technology. I mean, yes, it's explosive. Of course it is. But is it safer? Is it safer than using a battery long term? Of course it is.
Well, I mean, pick which part of your car, right? So the back part of your car is explosive because of the fossil fuel in the back of it, right? The gas in the back of it. And the front part of your car, although it won't burst into flames, if you're in a head-on collision and your battery explodes, you will splay, battery acid everywhere. So it's not like what isn't battery acid is extremely high temperature liquids in the front of it for your cooling system. So it's not like your car is an explosive as it is now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm big into battery technology. Plug that thing in. I think that that's really the best way to do it. Let's spend some money on batteries. I'm sure that if you spend as much money on batteries as you did one Moab, I'm not saying you can't have a Moab. I'm just saying you don't need 10 of them. You dig?
Oh yeah,
Right?
but like, what are they like $50 million a piece? So that's this ridiculous price.
Rather than have 10 of them, okay, just have 5 and then spend some money on battery technology. Like in some of these cases, I'm not saying that you can't spend money on cool military equipment. I'm just saying you can't spend $10 trillion a year on it. Pull it back a little bit, guys. Right? You can spend $1 trillion. Everything else needs to spend on the people. Let it go.
Yeah, I was going to say that the displacement of where the money is being spent here in America is ridiculous. Like we don't need all these fancy smancy.
Oh fuck, man! If it was
Yeah.
fancy schmancy, that would be fine.
Oh yeah, like the
Right?
F-20. Yeah,
These
that's
guys
true.
overpay. It's not even like we get something cool, right? They spent $3 trillion to invent the Predator drone. You spent $3 trillion, and the best you could give me was a remote-controlled plane with a camera on it. Go fuck yourself. Right? Where's my interdimensional? You should be able to teleport fucking bombs to Osama bin Laden's dinner table for $3 trillion.
Sitting on Jacob Rothschild's desk.
Or at least smart bullets.
Yeah.
Remember like the Fifth Element, the smart bullets where you shoot in any direction and it still hits the target. Those would be cool.
Yeah.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah, even remember the F-22 was a piece of shit. So nothing they build is correct. The Bradley assault vehicle had a fatal flaw in the back of it. It was had a the
Oh, it had like a big silver canister for
yeah. The back end was not
like,
bulletproof.
shoot here.
Yeah. The bullet.
It was the equivalent. It was honestly, people. I'm not going to get too geeky here, but people always ask why would you design the Death Star with a little, you know what I mean, a small exhaust port that would make the whole thing explode? And you think the response to that is you have never seen a government contract then, because that is exactly the kind of shit that they build. I guarantee you that was a government contract.
Oh God.
Lowest bidder.
It's like, how can we save money? Oh, just make the 1/4-inch steel just make it a little smaller. No biggie. God forbid they're using AK-47 rounds. Don't worry about it.
But that's how that. I mean, with all of them, you take the wall that they built. They spent all of that money building. I went down there for the opening and all of that stuff, and I think it took us 20 minutes to overcome the wall.
Oh, you're talking about
and that was all.
Go ahead.
That was all three prototypes that we had access to, and the longest that it took us was 20 minutes to get over it.
Oh, you're talking about the walls, the prototypes that are down there in California? I think that's
Yeah. I mean, we posted about it. 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, those I don't understand. I mean, a lot of people are gonna shit bricks, but a barrier is not gonna stop human ingenuity. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, look, my number one issue with all of this is that it's not. Look, you listen. The NSA listened to every single conversation on the planet. You have the most powerful police force, most heavily police force that the world has ever fucking seen. Right? Quit arresting family men and go after some of these fucking criminals.
That is true.
Like, you're not robots. Nobody's arguing. If you start rounding up cartel members and fucking drug dealers and toss them out the country, nobody is gonna fucking argue with that. But when you're pushing a 12-year-old girl that's about to fucking die down the hallway because of immigration law, man, you're not a fucking robot.
I was gonna say, I think the
Do something
cartels,
positive.
and the mafias are worth more because they're also on the payroll.
Yeah, that's the deal. They are. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
look, we can't actually arrest the drug dealers because, well, we're paying them. We can only arrest this family that's busting their ass to survive, which is 1,000 times better than where they're from. It's just a fucking nightmare. That's where it goes into, why are you calling us Nazis? Because you're beating up on a little kid and saying, I'm just doing my job. Arrest some criminals. You don't know where they are? You know what I mean? Like, you need some help?
Yeah.
And to be honest, like what I like is I just thought about that. I would like to like connect it back to what we've seen with child molestation and child predators online and Anonymous's work to expose them. Like, I guess you do need some help because no matter how much money that we spend to stop this fucking nightmare against our children, y'all never seem to be able to figure it out. But we seem to be able to track them down and expose them for the
Yeah.
internet
Oh,
world to see.
they practically end up in our inbox like on the regular.
Yeah,
our tip
but
offs,
yet
are, it's like dude, it's not hard, like, and the
But
law.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you had access to the powers of the CIA and NSA and crime labs, special victims fucking unit, right? If we had access to all of that, they would be swinging as we speak. But yet all of those resources and y'all can't figure it out. Fucking white supremacist groups been operating in America for the last 200 years and you can't figure out where they are.
They don't want to spend their money on, we do it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. These guys could not do anything. I'm telling you, I wouldn't trust them to make me a ham sandwich.
Does that with 2 pickles or the tinfoil?
Yeah. Yeah, you want ketchup on this? Go fuck yourself. I made the sandwich, but I killed several people in having to do it, and it probably cost you about $50.
Dakota Horsley says HIPAA. I don't know.
What other topics?
So yeah, a lot of our viewers might not be aware of this, but Julian Assange, in our while we were out, his legal team went to court, and Julian. This is preceding what happened to Lawyer Love. We'll get to that. He's been on our show before as well. But what happened to Julian is that he was going to, I forget which court it was, the high court or the regular courts. But anyways, legal team went to court to try and fight this warrant, which was to the Swiss sex case that had happened, which was I believe it was politically motivated.
I don't think it's hidden that it was politically motivated.
Well, yeah,
and they didn't even.
Yeah, go ahead.
And like they just went out and hired some hookers to say that he raped them.
Pretty
like,
much.
This isn't 1940. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't work. You realize that, right?
So the UK judge, despite Switzerland dropping the case because he skipped his hearing for his bond, there's still a warrant. But I'm like, wait, so the case was dropped, but you still want him to be in handcuffs because you want to extradite him, like, and
you want to find a reason for.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I hate to say this to the UK government. If it persists, it might become an op. Julian, that was kind of bullshit. What happened in court? Uh, the warrant that they have is completely invalid.
it's easy for
Well,
peeps,
it's just
hookers,
not.
and
Is there some sort of argument on why the U.S. government wants to get a hold of him?
Jeff Sessions specifically said that he is top priority for the Department of Justice and to get him into here and arrest him. That was Jeff Sessions, the same guy who declared the war on marijuana after we legalized it in most of the states. The same Attorney General, yeah, yeah.
Even then he wants to start like these huge and like operations across the country and this and that. You do realize that like weed's legal in D.C., right? Like just like outside your door.
Like I don't
Little
know. I don't
fucking
know what goes
racist
on.
Keebler elf.
I don't know what goes into Jeff Sessions' mind, but WikiLeaks, they're leaks. They're not hacks. They're people leak this shit. Now some of the information hacked, probably, but a lot of it's just hey, your own department.
Almost none of it.
Your own
Almost none of
department.
it.
Yeah, it's just
Hacking is so very rare. You know, they talk about Russian hacking. No, there is no Russian hacking. They're not. That's not what they did at all. That was using bots and influencing you through social media. They talk about the like Podesta emails as if they were hacking and not that you just handed them the emails. You know what I mean? These aren't hacking. These are leaks. What goes on in the White House right now? There's a constant leak going on. They always say, "Oh, this last hacking event." It has absolutely nothing to do with hacking.
it's leaks. Yeah, that's true.
yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah, nobody broke into your system. The
C-
people that work for you think you're such a piece of shit that they gave us the information.
yeah these CIA manuals that are in Vault 7 were probably given to us from the CIA. I'm just saying.
And to the people, to the people that are listening to the show to begin with, right? There is no doubt, right? We have people in the NSA, and I'm not just talking about anonymous, but people that do support the cause, that have woken up, that do know what's going on, right? We have plenty of people that are operating in these, in these halls of power, everywhere from whoever's, typing on your computer to the guy that's taking out your trash. Right. So like these people that are constantly screwing us over, right? We still have access to them and that people are always giving us information. When
Exactly.
somebody
Yeah.
gets out there and calls a country a shithole, the Haitian guys that are picking up your trash, right? They'll hand me paperwork that you thought you threw out years ago.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? Like they're making so many enemies, but it's their ideas, are always bad. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Well, then don't be surprised when you're surrounded by enemies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of Haitian,
So yeah,
I was gonna
NSA,
say,
FBI, we've got people, and when they get things that they feel are worth putting their career to the test, they'll give them to us.
oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's like all the politicians not all are bad. Yeah, no, you have good ones and every kind of thing with the police.
Or
Yeah,
yeah, or
all
just they've had
right.
enough. Maybe they want your Senate seat, right? Like you have to admit that's the problem with surrounding yourselves with enemies, right? They're no matter how unified it seems like they are at the moment, they'll turn on each other in a heartbeat. If it looks like they might lose their position of power, you look at how liberal and revolutionary this next batch of Republicans will be.
Or you get paid that good, and
Oh, speaking of
you know,
speaking of, did you
Yeah.
hear a Jit Pie is under investigation?
Mm. And he didn't even wait.
Yeah,
Like he took my I forget which company he took all this money. It's not a small amount either.
Sinclair.
It's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and he dresses up like a Jedi. Right now, I challenge him, right, to a lightsaber battle.
dude. Like
Like right now. I'm pretty sure he's a Sith. Like everybody asks, he's totally the Sith.
yeah, like he's a sleazebag, dude. Like like I even saw like this meme on Pornhub. No, a meme on it was like him in Pornhub, and it literally went like one guy fucks a nation. It has a picture of him, but
Yeah.
No,
Holy crap! What a sack of just a human excrement.
yeah,
And I almost feel bad saying that about human excrement. We need to find an alien that's worse than us, so I can name him as that alien's feces.
well, what he voted on was so important to the people, despite 80% of people, and I don't know what these other 20% were voting. I don't even know if that was a legit number, but I actually think it was more like
Yeah, the
90,
other 20% that they paid
yeah,
to post on
I
it.
think it might have been 90% of people did not want, that might be the actual number, did not want that legislation going through. Ajit
But in
Pai and
some
his co.
places, we're up to that. We're up to that level. We're talking about cannabis reform. We're up to that level of of difference between how the people feel and the government feels in marijuana legislation. In most places, most people say no. I think medical marijuana, almost everywhere people support. Beyond that, most people support legalization. We're up to like 60, 70% in some places, 90% out in California.
Yeah,
98% in Washington State.
yeah.
They don't listen to the people.
It's it,
No,
it
and that's
That,
that's the downfall of every tyrannical government.
Then why do we have a government to begin with if it doesn't, if it makes the laws? And you know what I mean, like if the current government isn't working for us, then it's working against us and holding us back.
yeah, it's like I'm saying too. You have the good ones and you have bad ones, and
Yeah,
if
we're
they,
definitely on a bad. We've definitely been on a bad run.
yeah, yeah,
Well, you know what Jeff Sessions did to the American people. Congress had the option of jumping in and reversing this legislation, which they failed to do. They said that they were, but some of them were on the payroll to the big ISPs, and they were going to incorporate some of what net neutrality was, but they were basically going to fuck us in the ass. So
Well,
go
no,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, the states, like 27 states or something like that, have voted on state legislation which would keep the same exact laws. This was so important to the people that they are going to override what the FCC did, despite the FCC's ruling that the states couldn't do this. They are still doing it.
Well, and because our system works with, because money in politics is really the only thing that moves our politicians to do anything. Because of that, even if you don't put $2,000 in your pocket that moment, right? They can say, because of the way that our system works, when they're elected, when they're in office, they can say, hey, I voted for this. You should support my campaign for this way, for this or the other, or, run our ads more often, or any of those things. And it has to do with money in politics. Look, if the telecoms didn't pay our government to pass this legislation for them, they wouldn't have done it.
yeah. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah,
And I mean, to some cases, look, I think personally, I think that a lot of these guys, making a lot of the rules that they've made, they realize that they might realize they're on their way out of politics. So it's like, look, I need to get this couple of million now because we're out.
yeah. Like some politicians want to do it good, but when they see money, okay,
Yeah, but we should,
then yeah.
we have to make we have to make it that nobody can approach you and say, hey, here's $1 million for your campaign.
And there's not a lot of politicians that's gonna, try. Yeah, there's something to this. Yeah,
You mean
this campaign, so much
take
money.
the money out of politics? That's some yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something that
It's
should have been
not like
incorporated.
now they're saying the money, like even the way we say it, the money out of politics. No, I want you to quit bribing our politicians. It's still fucking bribery,
Yeah,
right? Enhanced interrogation techniques is still fucking torture.
yeah, that's
They're
true.
not alternative facts. You're a fucking liar.
money is evil.
Yeah, like this is like it's not no, we like our politicians are being bribed straight out by corporations. They just happen to say that it's a super PAC. You're still being bribed.
Yeah,
How come all of you guys are millionaires?
yeah. I was gonna say, a majority of the people who are in, at least on the federal level, are millionaires. Yeah, yeah.
All of them. Fuck, Bernie Sanders worth 10 mil.
That's yeah. Remember when they made
10
they made
$1 million.
yeah, they're making a big shit
And
about
for
his
most of the
RA.
people, I'm a Bernie supporter. But I got to be honest. But he's got like 4 million. His wife's got like 7 million. Is there a reason why Vermont has a homeless problem? You couldn't have donated $1 million to fix that. There is a homeless veteran in your state, and you've got 10 mil in the bank, and you can't figure out how to fix that. Here's an idea: buy him a fucking house before you buy yourself another one.
He
John,
just got paid off. I mean, he just got that money in the bank.
John, I think we're having reverb from your other browser.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, I've went.
There we go.
John again.
Oh no, it's still going.
That's weird. I'm closing the browser stuff down.
Okay. Uh-oh, we lost Terrence.
Is it still going on?
Yeah, we lost Terrence.
He's with his battery stuff.
And I lost...
Hey, I've got a question then, because you were talking about Bernie Sanders, but if he was legit, why would he run with like the Democratic Party then?
Oh my God! It's kicked me out of fucking everything.
I can hear you.
What did I? I didn't even say anything all that all that detrimental, did I?
No.
You started talking about loving Bernie Sanders, and it all went to hell.
Yeah, I like the guy. I'm just saying, man. Like, you're from Vermont. I realize you couldn't fix it for the whole.
Oh no,
country.
I know what it is. No, you were implying that he's criminal for taking all this money and getting rich off of it. That's the problem.
I'm just saying you're real rich for not being a criminal.
I'm still hearing an echo.
But why would he run with the Democratic Party if he was like real?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But have you ever had a friend that just like he's real cool, but like the people that he hangs out with are total trash?
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Like he could like run independent, and he would probably he would have won. Like he wouldn't get like the media attention, but he had like this huge grassroots thing.
Know that they have access to the same like statistics as everybody. You know what I mean? As everybody else. If you can't figure out that Bernie Sanders is way more powerful without the Democratic Party than with it, come on, man. I don't know. There's something they may have got. That's like Alex Jones. They may have got to him, man. Brain slugs. I think it's the brain slugs. If any of us get elected in political office, right? Earplugs. So that they can't use the ear slugs, the brain slugs on you. Or maybe they put it up your nose. I don't know how the ear slugs.
There is one thing that speaks in his favor. One thing speaks in his favor, and that is that he could have run with Hillary like as a vice president or something. And he chose not to, I guess. Like
maybe he get paid.
Well, I think that had more to do with her she was not going to be vice president. That's not what she paid for.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, but they made the mistake of not bringing in the Bernie people to get her elected.
I think there would see that.
Was make him like vice president, and she would be elected.
Yeah,
but that's the deal. Hillary Clinton was not, she paid to be president, and the Bernie supporters were not going to support her being president. They're running Bernie Sanders for president, not Hillary Clinton. Everybody's agreed that we don't want Hillary Clinton for president.
Yeah, but like here in Europe, we sometimes we are not agree, but sometimes like here we gonna vote for a minister,
Well, a big part
and he have the most votes, and he's still gonna get elected. But
even with
sometimes they make agreements with other parties, and
Hillary Clinton being the Democratic nominee, lost.
There's something with lag, I think,
from Bernie Sanders supporters altogether. Not enough to get her elected. I don't think statistically it would have been any different from her. The point was that we wanted Bernie as president, right? Not the other way around.
Yeah, but
so man, you guys, you Democrats weren't going to get in line to get behind the party person, huh? I mean, Bernie or else.
Anybody. We would have gotten behind anybody else. Literally anybody.
We're having
I'm not
some
sure if there's anybody from the Clinton
major
campaign listening, but run absolutely anybody but Hillary Clinton.
Echo.
And now it's too late. Like most of the people that supported Bernie Sanders, a lot of the right, a lot of the conservatives that supported Bernie Sanders, they don't support they don't support that system at all. It may be time. This next presidency may be completely ran by the internet. No parties, no any of that. To a time where we've just outgrown that system altogether, and an independent comes up. And just there is no argument, right? 60% of the America voted for.
But but
And at that
this
point,
is the,
we don't. They paid millions and millions of dollars in TV ads and blah blah blah. We don't need any of that.
there's a difference between this voting things like Europe, United States. This they choose for president, but everybody look always to one person, like one president. But like here, like in Belgium, here we're gonna for yeah. We're gonna vote for somebody, but eventually they're gonna work together with other parties, and eventually come, they have an agreement, and eventually it's all smooth. But in the United States, they always want to like, that's not a bad thing, but yeah, yeah. This everybody wants Hillary, or everybody wants Bernie, or everybody wants Trump. It's always one person, and he have to say what he want. He can say this. He can call like martial law or whatever. Um, this you're gonna not see this here in Europe, because eventually you can choose for one person, but eventually he gonna must work with the other parties, and it's not a bad thing, but yeah, that's my opinion. That it's. Mm.
Well, I was going to say that in America we had a choice of bad and really bad. You know.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's yeah, yeah.
Did we lose Terrence?
Again,
He muted himself. He muted
No, I'm
himself.
still here. Sorry, we had to get some stuff organized.
Yeah, that was the case in the general in the election. Is we had a choice between bad and really
or
bad. Like
And
mhm.
even the way that they said it, they're all like, well, that was their excuse. Well, the better of two evils. That was your slogan. You're going to lose a campaign when your your unofficial slogan is the better of two evils. Like that is the worst campaign of all time. You should have known right away when that was your excuse.
that is true.
And I'm not particularly sure that is the case. Just a different kind of evil. It's all like, look, the two-party system. Do you want cat shit or dog shit? Those are the choices, man.
Yeah.
But I don't want
I'm
either
more.
of those, cat shit or dog shit. You only get two choices.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
well,
if
Bernie
you,
could be vice president, so dog shit with sprinkles on it.
but why you don't bring it together and work all together out, and
Well, I mean, that's
you know,
okay. The point of a two-party system is to work off of division, and that way we both get what we want. As long as every 4 to 8 years my guy gets in, followed by your guy gets in, right? I live 80 years, right?
yeah,
I'm going to make money on both sides of the equation. I'm a great guy for voting for socialized healthcare after I've made all of the money from normal healthcare. Right? You notice that when I focus on the homeless problem and the veterans homeless problem, and it's because it's such a problem that we could deal with, right? You look at all of the Democrats that came out against the tax ban. Are you going to donate all that money to take care of veterans homelessness? No, you're going to buy a house and a car with it. And I'm not talking a small amount, right? That's billions of dollars. You could buy every single homeless family in America a house for $1 billion. I could broker that deal right now.
Yeah.
But they come out and speak on it like they're not taking advantage of it. Oh, well, I want to, I don't think we should be, I don't want to be on green power anymore. Are you invested in fossil fuels?
fossil
You invested
fuels.
you invested in the banks?
They must make a choice, and it's always, that's true. Yeah, But yeah, if like here, like in Europe, if all parties here work together, they're gonna try from the one want fossil fuels, the other one want banks. This, if you all can make an agreement all together and then fix the problem on long, it cannot be on 1, 2, 3, and it's gonna be fixed. It's gonna take time, of
Yeah.
course. But yeah, this is different between Europe and United States. Yeah, there you have this. Yeah, you choose the Democrats.
Well, I mean, I think some things might take time, but I think a lot of these, personally, I don't think that they're arbitrarily held back. And sometimes, like when it comes to green power, they've held that back for decades. The technology's there,
Yeah, exactly.
where they always kind of use that excuse. Well, I realize you're slaves now, but if you just hold out for 10, 15 years, then it'll be better in the future. Where I'm saying, why don't we just do that 15 years now? Why we have to wait for peace? Well, let's just make us finish making all this money off the Middle East, and then you can have peace. No, why don't we just do it now? Everybody
Like,
agrees that peace is in the world's future. Why are we waiting for you guys to figure it out?
yeah, like we Europe, yeah, we are a little bit farther in green energy.
Oh yeah,
But
Germany's what, 65%. The
yeah,
other
and
the other the other the other the other the other 35 is coal, so that's not good.
and you, I remember when they were trying about the global warming thing and whatever, this climate change thing. Yeah, United States was not agree a little bit about do the first the green power thing. Other things were more important, but we were then a little bit against it, and this now they are a little bit later now with like green.
Oh man, we're still arguing about clean coal.
Yeah,
When we were in Puerto Rico and setting up solar generators there, it was a shock to me. You know that the actual like grid that they've set up there, the one that they're repairing, works off of coal. They import coal from West Virginia down to Puerto Rico, right? And it's just it's insane, absolutely insane.
Yeah, I would say so.
and and
And they're
when
planning on fixing it, right? They said they should have 95% of the grid up by May. So they'll have 90% of the grid up right exactly at the start of hurricane season.
what I
But
said,
the same system
what
that
I
was
said,
destroyed by the last hurricane.
and what's funny is always like is Europe not agree or Russia or whatever, like Europe not agree with United States about some things. You're gonna say, okay, you're gonna play this game. Okay, we're gonna do the prices up from the fossil fuel. Okay, we are with the shit in Europe. The prices go up and down here. Here we pay almost like 4 or 5 times more than
Yes,
you
well, I mean
guys pay
that's
for
something that
gas.
a lot of people don't understand. The fuel prices in Europe are so much
It's
more expensive. Even in New Zealand,
yeah,
Australia here are so much more expensive
it's
in
so
the States.
expensive.
I pay less for milk than I do for, I mean, less for gas than I do for milk in the States.
It's not a bad thing. They are we have good transport and train system and bus systems here. They try to keep the cars away here. This is not a bad thing. Maybe is this a reason that the prices? Maybe they have an agreement in the United States from hey, do the prices up in Europe because the green energy. I don't know. Yeah, it's maybe a guess that I don't know, but
But I mean, honestly,
yeah,
As an American, I feel terrible about that. Why are we the last country to figure out green power? Why are we lagging when we've got so many people that want it, so many people that want to work in it, so many people that
yeah,
need jobs?
and
Why are we
more
last?
technology and more technology. United States have the technology for do it perfect if they want it, and
It's
still
sad.
the and this is a little bit this thing, and yeah,
Like I feel like
it's
honestly, like that's what I was. I feel bad as an American that we would lag in. We've always prided ourselves on somehow being, you know what I mean, part of the future, and we're so entrenched in the past.
That is
yeah, they
true.
have the
Y'all are
technology.
gonna have flying. I know it for us. I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to know why the world's as fucked up as it is, we were supposed to have hoverboards, right? All of these like so much in the world that has been horrible would have been avoided if we had hoverboards.
Well, we kind of
Your
got that. We
average
got
ISIS
Audi
member.
made one. Remember, Audi made one, but it wasn't like a
Oh,
real
it was
hoverboard.
fake. It
Yeah,
was fake. Ugh. Your average ISIS member is 19 years old. Do you think you have time for jihad when you've got a fucking hoverboard?
exactly.
Yeah, right on.
Impossible.
Hey guys, happy 100th.
Hey, where have you been?
Oh,
He made it.
You just wake up?
Oh, God, he's sleeping.
Oh my God, yeah, finally.
I'm still getting quite an echo on here.
yeah, me too.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
John's computer.
I'm sure with all of us on
Gone
here, though.
again.
It's probably me, but I had to close it in. Sorry, guys, but this show still needs to be shared too. So yeah,
I gotcha.
Exactly.
I'm muting myself as much as possible when I do that. But
Let me see what else have we not covered. Oh yeah. So the U.S. government had So Lori Love has been on our show.
Well, it's not going to be positive. Have we ever started something that says the U.S. government ... and it be something positive?
No, yeah. So the U.S. government had up until today to appeal their decision on what happened. So essentially, Lori Love was facing extradition to the U.S. for hacking, alleged hacking, and he won that appeal. But the United States had until today to or the extradition. They had up until today to appeal that. I haven't heard anything as far as the news or what's going on. I haven't messaged Lori, so I don't know if anything has happened out of that. But what I do know is that the United States want them to prosecute Lori Love as hard as they would in the U.S. into a sentencing in a UK trial. And I'm just saying that it's actually
Yeah. I showed you the article, didn't I, Tom?
yeah, it's actually none of at this point because the UK government is not sending them to the US. It's none of the United States business meddling in foreign court cases. I'm just saying,
It's not their business.
it's none of their fucking business. Yeah.
That's true.
So, do like when they say stuff like this, and you're all like, when you're out screaming about Russian influencing your government, and then immediately go and try to influence other people's governments. Like, is there no point where you feel like a hypocrite?
Yeah. Like I don't know. I hate to
We
say.
have to protect nation sovereignty. Well, our nation. We're gonna fuck your nation all up.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen to Lori. I don't think I don't think the U.S. had appealed it, but we will see. And even at this point, because the UK court said that they're not going to extradite him anyway, he will not be extradited into the United States court system.
They
Which
cannot do this.
yeah, well, the maximum he's going to do in prison, I think, over there is about 3 years. The laws here are so bass backwards, he would do up like somewhere around 99 years versus 3 years, which is
just live in prison.
yeah.
Your laws are completely messed up.
That's a good thing about Europe. They don't like to extradite their own citizens
Well,
to some other continent or whatever.
yeah,
That's a good thing from Europe. That's.
We've talked about we've had groups on here, Aaron's Law and stuff like that, or advocates for Aaron's Law. The laws here in the United States are bass backwards from the CFA, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which was written in I think 1970. Was it 84 or something like that? It's a 1970s, something like somewhere around the time when War Games was coming out. and the laws have absolutely no parting on how hard on the actual crime. So let's say you do a distributed denial of service attack and you took out somebody's cat webpage. Well, you could potentially do 15 years for sending too many packets to a server and not hurting the actual website. So the laws need to be rewritten for the
Yeah,
actual punishment, or they need to have a whole different court. They need to have a whole different court that understand what the hell is actually going on when it comes to computer crimes. You know?
yeah. Not only this, but about different kind of things. If you do like a big crime, if you do a murder or something in this country
Yeah.
or whatever, okay. But like if I'm like a hacker, I'm not. But I'm an activist, and it's like me. I was not guilty. I was in jail there for not guilty. Okay, Belgian government took me out. Okay, they brought me back to here because they told United States you are not correct. They don't give me a hour or nothing. It was all by the state, blah blah blah. And then I was mad and I made the video message on my live stream on my account, and I was like, from fuck off, Oklahoma, blah 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 blah. I was pissed off on the state, and then I heard after that the state of Oklahoma want to sue me and try to get me there again. And then they say, from hell no.
They want you to pay. I
We
think
took them out there.
they wanted you to pay them like
They wanted me back.
Yeah, they wanted you.
They wanted me back.
They already deported you.
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. They want to deport me, but the jails make money with immigrants there in the United States. It's private owned, and they make a lot of money with it. This is one of the reasons that they keep me a little bit longer there. But I was not treated well. This reason my own government took me out, and my consulate, they took me out. They pay money for it. And they say, oh yeah, but we want them back because he's threatening us. Oh yeah, he says some things that he don't must to say. And, they have not a right to take me back. It's not because. Yeah, there are some, like you say, laws that must to be.
Well, yeah,
Well, I mean,
written.
our laws aren't just, is the deal, right?
yeah,
So,
the crime doesn't.
if you're
The crime does.
if you're a child molester, you'll maybe do 3 months,
Yeah.
if any time at all. If
Yeah.
you're a computer hacker, you do, you know what I mean? You're looking at decades and decades and decades long. It just isn't.
This
It's
makes
not
sense.
our justice system is unjust, and that causes, that's why countries don't want to send, don't want to extradite people, because they're sending, this isn't safe. It's the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
We know about the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to hit on that subject. I also talked to Lori about this, and the whole
With the prison
the whole extradition process is kind of bullshit anyway. Because if the alleged thing that they said that Lori had done had actually transpired, Lori, in a legal sense, Lori would have to have been aware of the laws in another country, which is absolutely fucking absurd. Why should a citizen of a foreign nation have to know the laws of a foreign country? That doesn't make any the laws. That's why these.
It made no sense.
Yeah, I was going to say these the crime. Yeah, you're right. The crime doesn't fit what they're doing. They need to have special laws and special courts for these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that our justice system needs to be a just system.
Yeah.
And it's not.
In extradition laws, it's also not allowed to deport your citizens to a country that has like a death sentence if you don't have a death sentence in your own country. And it's the same with lifelong prison sentences. So
Belgium have a law like this here too. I think Holland too. Most countries.
So yes, like 99 years is a life in prison sentence, and Belgium and Holland don't have these.
Well, I mean, our prison system has been marked as one of the worst in the world. The worst when it comes to Western countries.
I would say most definitely. Besides countries that just kill you for your crimes, yes, it was just as bad.
Well, and then even then the numbers don't add up. Yes, like we always get communist China or this and that. Like
the Middle East is bad too. there, the laws.
Yeah.
Some countries, the Saudis, Saudi Arabia is pretty bad.
Yeah, the Saudi Arabians, they are heavy. A little bit more than United States or North Korea.
It depends. It depends. If you're a minority in the U.S., there isn't another place that I've ever been in the world like here. I've never that's the deal. Like I've traveled all over the world. I've never looked down the barrel of a gun. But yet that's not the case when you're in the streets. I've never, you know what I mean? In the war zones that we've been in, I've never been gassed by the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you know of.
Yeah, that's the deal. Well, I know, but the times when we have been, that I do know of, have all been here in the States. The times that my life has been in absolute danger was staring down, you know what I mean, at police departments here. And that's like coming straight from fucking Ukraine. I could walk down the street in Ukraine, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only black person within hundreds of miles.
Or the second guy.
Without a fear of being executed in the street. That is not the case in America. That is not the case at Standing Rock.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, the official story was that was just vegetable oil they sprayed you guys with out there.
Oh yeah, my skin was getting extra dry. It's great that they were looking after me. They thought, hey, let's load these planes up with vegetable oil. That's totally logical.
The humidity's real low. I mean, it's cold too.
Maybe I bald, so it's not even. Maybe back in the day.
But yeah, it's.
Did you get any balder?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like a little bit of hair that I did immediately fell out after fucking Standing Rock. And that doesn't count. Like there's a good population of us when all of the, that may have been all part of the operation was to check the difference, in some of these drugs they're using between veterans and military members, people that have been inoculated against the diseases that they're spraying us with or the chemicals they're spraying with us compared to the indigenous people and that doesn't count that weren't ex-military and been inoculated against it. That may have been all part of the project. But anytime the U.S. government is spraying you with something, it's not good.
That is true.
They've never sprayed us with vitamin C. Never.
But I don't like politics, talking about politic things or whatever, but every country or how they call it, UN or whatever, must all come together and have written all the laws because, like Taylor say, it make no sense anymore about different kinds of things in all kinds of countries. If they all come together and say hey, come, we must have some agreements about this, because the laws are so fucked up now from the old days to now. Like now here, you can, it must be like, I don't like politics or whatever, but eventually everybody must come together and say hey, okay, you must have some agreements and this laws, and we write it all because they still keep the same laws, and if you can still keep the same laws, it's gonna make a change. It's gonna get worse. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, with all of this, I mean, to come into the modern age. I've always it sucked that they used New World Order to mean such evil things because I think we are coming to a new world order when the people have agreed that a peace where we've taken the power away from the oligarchs, the 1%, the corporations, and that is a change. That is a new world order, but they've so tainted the word or idea. You struggle to find something. Place it with, but at the end of the day, our unity is our power, and the more united the world is towards the things that we know are true,
it's gonna be better. It's gonna get better, but eventually,
it's gonna get better. We're just now realizing the amount of power that the public actually has,
and we are in a difficult age now. Also, a century stays like this. And this last 200 years now, what happened never happened maybe in the last 1,000 years. We are in a difficult kind of century, and it's hard for everyone, and we're trying to it's or not agree with each other. It's always something now.
I have a
Um,
sneaking suspicion that if we quit allowing, some of these things going on, that a lot of them will dry up. I imagine the moment that we get money out of politics, a lot of these issues will dry up.
Do you
The
think?
moment that we move to green power, the whole Middle East thing and the fight for oil will immediately go away. The moment that we finish on 3 and start curing some of these diseases, how quickly the cancer epidemic will stop when we quit asking them permission.
yeah, there are some things that, but yeah, do they ever gonna do it? Do they ever gonna come all together? Because yeah, there's always something between the UN, Russia, and United States or China. They never agree, and if this is gonna go on like how it now is, yeah. Uh, Eventually they're gonna must to come together and make agreements and make new laws and yeah, make the world a better place. And yeah, it's sad what happened now in the world. It's yeah, we are in a difficult age. That's for sure.
I agree. I think like one of the reasons that it's sad is because we all kind of feel like the world doesn't. We shouldn't be here anymore. Like we should have been figured out. We should have moved past a lot of these issues, which is what makes it so tragic.
Yeah.
But it gives us a reason to fight. Like, I do think that, I don't think any of us would do this if we thought we were going to lose.
Yeah. People
We'll do
must
it
speak
anyway.
up.
It's always the possibility, but I truly believe in our lifetime, in the next couple of decades, we're going to make some real changes. Like now is the time. We might not have this opportunity again.
I have a good feeling to that, but that's my opinion. I have a good feeling to that that we can maybe make a change. But it's on us. The people must speak up. But yeah, if they're still watching the media and yeah, they are trying to divide us, and yeah.
I said it could be done. I didn't say it was going to be easy.
Yeah, it cannot be easy now. It's gonna take time. It can take maybe 100 years.
I mean, we've already proven to our audience, at least the ones that have listened over and over again, is that our government no longer represents the people.
Yeah, which is why I think the change will be so quick. Like the change is with a very small group of people at this point, and they're people that are desperately holding on to like power that isn't real. They've made decisions and done things in the idea that they're going to have power beyond November, beyond the next election. And once we unite and actually start, use the power that people have, that will their reign will end extremely quickly.
The problem is the people are too scared still for to stand up because this kind of laws that are still exist in some countries for standing up, freedom of speech and all kind of things. People are still scared. There's a problem.
Our opponents are extremely violent and psychopaths and have people murdered. I mean, geez, they'll invade an entire country for profit. They'll poison millions.
They think about themselves because they get paid.
Like they're horrible people, so we have to expect them to react with the only things that they know, which is violence, which is death. That's it.
But if you have money, people, yeah.
And online censorship now. This is
Oh.
They have come for us. They have come for our free speech. So,
Yeah, I mean, they weren't any happier about the internet than they were about the printing press. Then, most recently it was slaves learning to read and write, and then before that, as a citizen you couldn't read or write. Nobody can read the Bible. Blah 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 blah. I mean, they're always trying to keep the word from getting out, to keep the truth from getting out. And it's never worked. But this isn't the first, the assault on free speech on the First Amendment is the assault that's always been going on with free speech in the First Amendment.
That is true.
You can only hope.
Yeah, as long as they can keep us ignorant, then they can keep us placid. They can tell you that what's going on is right. They can control the narrative.
Jay, are you dying in there?
Uh-oh.
He's doing that spring cleaning again.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay.
All right. I was gonna say it just sounded like you were breathing and falling all over the place.
It's just
I'm
spring
cool,
cleaning.
You still survived the 100th episode. Episode 100.
Terrence, go ahead. I kind of cut
Was a
you off.
joke.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, it's like I think we've all talked about this a lot. So
Yeah. What was another thing?
Yeah.
I had another topic that was going on. So this is another instance of where the state versus the federal government is not in par. So California had declared itself with Jerry Brown a sanctuary state, but in the past couple of weeks, immigration has literally been pulling a hardball on with ICE in immigration services, so much to the point where it's getting ridiculous. And even I was even reading articles that ICE isn't even incongruent. They're supposed to give these places, when they do raids or they're going to do an I-9 check, that they're supposed to give them 72 hours to even the 72-hour notice that they're coming, and they're just coming and doing the fucking, and they're doing the checks and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm there's several things wrong with how ICE is operating. I mean, they are our generation's Gestapo at this point. The thing that I would be even more scared of is, look, this isn't going to end, right? Once they get power, once they set up these systems, and they're pumping ICE up, pumping millions and millions of dollars into it, hiring all that people. Do you think that when they get to the turning point and they've moved all of those people out of the country, do you really think they're going to stop?
Yeah.
Has any system that they've set up like that ever stopped? We just needed the military-industrial complex for a moment to beat Hitler. We just need the prison-industrial complex for a moment, right? But then once they're in, they always want more. There will be a time that they'll come for you. It might not be for that same reason,
Yeah.
but it will happen. Like, those systems they're not going to pack up shop once they've arrested everybody with the last name Martinez.
Yeah, and like some of the places that they're raiding to is like it's kind of fucking like I hate to be they could even pull the racist card on this, but like some of the places that were raided that were in the article were tortilla fucking shops and like I'm like, dude, like you are like, this is so, you know what I mean, this is so wrong on another level.
Well, I mean, it's not hidden. They are. I mean, they are rounding up brown people. I mean, that's it. There's no like hiding it. Whether you say, well, they're Latino or whatever. No, you're rounding up people by race. There's no way to not look racist and do that.
Yeah.
And my thing, I know we said it at the beginning of it. So you don't know where the criminals are. The only people that you can find out are guys that have been working in their, as a construction worker for 30 years, raised a family, pays taxes, never even got a fucking speeding ticket. But you can't find actual criminals. Walk the fuck away, man. It's like a human being. Walk away.
Yeah, that's kind of the attitude I have towards all this shit, is that the pieces of shit, like what are they actually? They're disrupting families, they're destroying lives, but their argument is that they came into this country.
Everything it is to be American.
Yeah, their argument is that they came in here illegally. I'm like, well, everybody came into this country illegally. If you want to trace back your roots, we stole this land from the natives, and you know what I mean. And that and then some parts of the USA used to belong to Mexico and France, and
it's just not what American was built on.
Yeah,
we are the melting pot. You can't,
it's Europe. Europe is their fault. They took the land. Eventually they came all from here.
But you can't on one moment, celebrate your family coming here and, Europeans moving and the settlers and all of that stuff. You can at one time take absolute pride in that as our culture. And then on the other hand, just because somebody does it in this century instead of last century, it's evil and illegal. Like, it's still a person coming to America for a better life, for a dream, to work hard. That's why everybody comes to America. Fuck, man, if it was nice in my own country, I definitely would not be here. There's like, it's just so there is no way to make it not look racist, because the only people that they have any intent on rounding up are the same people that they've always been trying to round up. Look at everybody will sing Zoot Suit Riot and all of that stuff, not realizing that like that entire generation was hell bent on deporting Mexican immigrants that wore Zoot Suits.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, if it's not the Mexicans, it's the Italians, it's the Irish, it's the fuck, man. You guys just don't like, there's always some reason you need to stop people looking for a better life from coming here.
Yeah, you know what? I figured this. If you want if you want to come in this country legal or illegally, fine, fuck it, be it. Let them work, let them get the correct paperwork to get it, and be done with it. It's simple. Like if you're going to cause problems,
keep it.
But simple. That mindset may always cause us problems. So wait a minute, you're telling me that I can't move freely on my planet?
That's basically what the government and the rest of the world want, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that we even have borders like this. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, those are the laws. That is the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
No other animal on the planet follows that law. It's unnatural. Which is why, as long as we're on that mindset, we may have problems, because things that are unnatural to existence on our planet normally do cause those kinds of problems. If you look on the entire planet and no other animal does that, it's probably not right.
This is like I'm saying, like if everybody come together and written all the laws and everybody is allowed where they want to, goddamn.
Well, we don't
have this problems.
It's complete luck. I could have been born anywhere in the world. Why can I not travel where I want?
Oh, because your country doesn't, like, your country isn't in congruence with their laws, or like right now, even with Americans cannot go to Turkey right now because of the whole fucking shit between the two countries. Yeah. So.
And I'm not allowed in the United States because I was an immigrant and I don't have a citizenship for 10 years. I'm not allowed. This is stupid laws, because still my stuff is there and I cannot take it. This all little stupid things that they are written, and it's like I was saying,
well, we need to stop thinking. We need to stop thinking of countries with borders and start thinking of ourselves as a race and a melting pot. Because there might always be that one day that our enemies might not be here.
We are born like this.
You know what I mean?
Learned like this. Yeah. We are born like this, and we are learned like this.
We all know why the country's borders were made. We all knew it was, it's up. It's been this thousands and thousands years of a fight for resources and kings and queens and all these things that we know are complete bullshit now, but yet we still hold on to it.
Yeah, because we are born with it, and we are learned like this. We learn the history out of books.
Oh, it's just, it's like that. Well,
you're right.
Well, why? Because some guy that thought that was wrong, right? Nobody believes that the King of England was actually a god, right? But he did at the time. But nobody says, well, when you drew these lines, you're a crazy person. You weren't actually a deity. Your ideas were not coming from God. Like, you were completely wrong, but yet we hold on to it like it's 100% truth.
Yeah.
Like most of the wars that were fought on the world, like the ideals that they fought on, we don't even stand by anymore.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah. Do you care about the Frankish invasion?
The what invasion?
The Frankish invasion.
I'm not familiar with it.
Well, when France is named after France because of the Franks, because of the tribe that moved into France.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. That's crazy.
And then they took our country.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm sorry. I know a lot
That's
of
the
history,
reason
but I don't know
Belgium is
everything.
divided.
Yeah.
That's the reason Belgium is divided. Half is the south is French and the north is Dutch. Because
Yeah.
we normally you are apart from Holland. You are one country, Holland. But eventually, oh, yeah, on the old days, yeah, like you say, it's we are born with this history. That's now is all a joke, you know.
Yeah, like it's such. No matter how, like this is something that always, no matter how beautiful the pyramids are, they're a monument to a giant lie.
Yeah.
That is
Imagine if that manpower, if those resources were spent on anything else but building a temple for a guy that believes he's a god, that we all agree was not. You know, no matter how beautiful it is, it was absolutely pointless.
Maybe only for the stars, maybe for their time, and that's what I think. And they created for, yeah.
well,
I don't know. Yeah, everybody
I-
has his own opinion about it. It don't matter if you're religion or I respect everyone. You know, everybody has his own kind of thoughts about it. But yeah, it's a crazy world. Say it like this.
yeah, somebody says that's American in a nutshell. They refer to them as aliens. That is how ignorant is that in 2018?
Yeah, we've never met another creature on our never met another animal
Species.
off of
Yeah,
our
yeah,
planet.
yeah.
Planet, but yet we call each other aliens.
Yeah, you know, like how should
I imagine they just drive by. To be 100% with you, I think that they came in and they were like, "Look, we brought you the cure to every any disease," and we looked at them and said, "Oh well, how do we make money off of this?" And they just walked away. I brought you intergalactic travel. Ooh, can I use it as a weapon? Wow. This will bring peace to your world. But what about Halliburton? Later, bitches. I'm just gonna pack up my spaceship and leave. Put like a big sign that just says "avoid."
I don't know, man.
After I talk to America, I'm gonna go and talk to the Russians. No, they're our enemies.
Well, you know what? You know what's kind of like stupid about this whole ice thing is why are the ice? You know, like you said, it's like the brown parade. They're just going for the brown people. It's like, well, why aren't they going after like Canadians that are in this country illegally? Like, you know,
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
care, and it's much harder to build the fear tactics around. You know, even when people that agreed with the immigration thing, he was gonna round up bad hombres, right? You see all these bad hombres being rounded up? These are drug dealers and rapists, right? Was what he said.
yeah, but we have Canadian drug dealers as well. In fact, their drugs are just about as good as well. I know because I'm in recovery and I've done some of them.
But that's the deal. Like, nobody was going to argue about you rounding up bad people, about you rounding up drug dealers and murderers. But then they're not using it. That's not most people. Is the problem. You could do that with 100-man team, not thousands and thousands of officers and tanks and you know what I mean? Like the amount of shit that you need to try to comb an entire country to look for brown people that aren't doing anything wrong is the deal.
Yeah, they're literally going to people's employment and saying, "Do you have the correct paperwork to be working?" I'm like, "You're contributing to like what are these people's mentality? They're contributing to society, and they're
it's just like morally wrong to fuck with somebody at their job.
Yeah,
like, if you come in and people are busting ass, like leave.
This is what they should be doing. Even if they didn't come in with the right paperwork, they're doing it without being told to, and they're doing the right thing, and they're raising a family, and they're probably paying taxes not legal. I don't know if they are, but I'm just saying they're contributing.
Not like you're gonna pay into certain taxes regardless. When you buy
Sales
from a bag
tax,
of chips to a pack of smokes, you're paying taxes. So I don't agree with paying taxes for the fucking military-industrial complex. So I'm not sure I disagree with you. But they do buy they buy everything that you buy in your normal life. And support all of those businesses that buying that, that spending that money supports. deal is immigration is part of being American. And they're extremely specific. And they don't. Our government didn't hide it at all. People from Norway. I mean, I don't know if you can be any clearer than that. You are not the kind of American that we are looking for.
Yeah.
Some creation going on there.
Oh,
Jay,
I feel ill.
Jay, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like seriously, how should I say? There should be.
Well, we're just gonna have to reset or come to terms with what it is to be a modern person. What it is, what the morals of our age really are.
yeah, I wake everybody up.
Well,
And
I feel like
we're still running off of the old world's morals. Kill or
Yeah.
be killed. Keep your enemies close. You know what I mean? Your enemies, your friends close, but your enemies closer. You know what I mean? Greed is good. These are
Try
things
not to
that,
watch media. Try to don't watch media and use the internet now. Now we can spread the word out and
well, I feel like
Yeah.
I mean,
if
I
you want
think
to
we're
if you
gonna
want to
have to
contribute to
just,
society, you should be allowed. You should be allowed to contribute to the society that you choose to live in, and with regardless of the
but that's the
paperwork.
deal. Even in that, the only way that you can just, you can by making another person millions of dollars. I would ask, there's some of these problems. Eventually, there won't be a time when we're struggling over food. There won't be a time when you ask yourself that if you didn't have to worry about a house and food and internet and electricity, what would you do? And the answer scares them. Whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I'd probably study
I'd spend that
physics and
time
shit.
with my family.
Yeah.
I would write books, make music. Maybe, some people just sit on the beach and chill out.
Yeah.
But, any of those things are a million times better than slaving your entire life. You only have 80 years on this planet. Someone else.
Yeah, that is true. Like I think we've talked about this a couple of times. What society would do if you didn't have to worry about these things, and I think that the evolution of where mankind would be the next phase. Where are we going as a species?
Yeah, and I don't see especially all here, when people say, oh, well, if you weren't getting paid, then you wouldn't work. But look, anybody that in activism will tell you, we work our asses off and we don't get a fucking dime.
Yeah.
And people have done truly great things, you know what I mean, in it, because of it. And yet we don't get paid anything. Imagine when you have in a society where, yeah, you think, oh, well, what about bus drivers and all of that stuff? Everybody that I know is a bus driver is driving a bus because they would like to, they like kids to get back and forth to school, right? Not because they're getting paid to be a bus driver. They don't pay them enough. They're on food stamps.
Or yeah, you work for a mega corporation like Walmart, which just makes too much money, and they encourage their employees to get on fucking welfare. Like, what I mean?
Oh, well, you could be a greeter at Walmart. Well, if I wasn't having to worry about the roof over my head, I'd be a greeter anywhere. I'd walk down the street and tell people good day.
Oh, God.
When you think of, you know what I mean? There used to be a time where grandma could walk down the street and just say good morning to people, right? And wasn't having to say that as a job to be able to feed herself. At 80.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Are you okay, Jay?
Are you okay, Jay?
What the fuck? I didn't mute my mic. I've just been to the toilet.
Yeah, we heard all of it.
Yeah.
You're the
Good.
man.
Yeah, man, you may want to look at your diet a little bit here. Like, I'm not telling you what to do.
And yeah, like I guess the moral of the story is, everything you've heard about the pyramid scheme is how you're never really designed to get to the top, and you're always there. So the money has always created dynamic caste system that you'll never be able to attain. Now they make you put you under the belief that you can get to the top if you work your ass off, or you're smart, or you're out and do somebody, but you'll never actually get to the pinnacle. It's like the great
Yeah.
fucking lie of society, and to re-educate people that that we can live in a cashless society, which is how we were in ancient times. We did not live in a society based around money, and I don't care what people say. This is a learned trait, and it's going to take a lot of unlearning. You know.
And even what that money goes to, when we think, about cash and
I had a carry,
look,
man.
Rome, all Roman
I had a carry.
all Roman citizens got food, got bread,
Yeah.
right? As part of being part of Rome, you wouldn't have to worry about food. And that's something that seems completely crazy in today's time, that we might just be getting back to that. But if they understood that, people that were starving don't do well, right? You realize they didn't have a hunger problem in ancient Rome, but in 2018 we do. Like, they managed to figure out, how do we deal with the hunger problem? Oh yeah, that's right, feed people. No shit.
Big problem too.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take. I think it's gonna take. I don't know. It would be sad if we went another 1,000 years like the way that we're going. You know. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take.
Nobody knows.
Oh, did we lose somebody?
I don't know.
Oh, did we?
There are some other people out, I think.
Did we lose? Oh, we lost him.
Everyone?
Terrence.
Dude, that's Terrence.
Terrence. And John?
Apparently, we're having
Muted.
Issues.
issues. Let me see if I can get to another topic. Let's see if he comes back. Let me see. Higher investigation, U.S. official. Oh, U.S. officials are going to be pumping throughout the year Russian meddling with Russian bots. We already talked about that.
Facebook. Belgium.
What's going on? What's going
Lawsuit.
on? What's
The
going on?
lawsuit.
Oh yeah.
Lawsuit.
So I
Yeah,
as far as I
this.
know, only Austria and Ireland were able to sue Facebook for breaching what they would call the
Belgium too, and Belgium.
yeah, it was the security and it had to do with with the security the terms of their security policy and what they actually are in our monitoring, and that's going to be going to court. Facebook might find
It's
itself.
not a bad thing. It's more ads for protecting our privacy things, and I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook cannot choose for this for a long Belgium fight for a long time, sometimes for different kinds of laws for Facebook with us. We don't like that our privacy gonna be public, like we don't have public records. We cannot find it from somebody. We cannot look that up, and that's that they are really
and they shouldn't be able to hand all your information to the authorities of the governments at their whim. Either they are and they aren't telling which they are. And then just implement new things and not tell people what they're for. Like the SAD and the facial recognition thing has always been there, but how they're implementing it now is bringing it to a whole nother level. Now they're doing what I suspect on the back end would be preemptive alerting. Now on the AI facial recognition. They were also suggesting if you want to commit suicide. Yeah.
Also, and I'm glad that some countries standing up now and try to fight it, because Facebook cannot do what they want. They that they give the information and other things. Yeah, I must say that you cannot look our private information up here in Europe. In most countries, not the criminal records, all kinds of stuff. That's privacy, and you can do this. You can do this. You can look everybody's his records up, and that's what they are fighting here against. To also, it's privacy. It's not crime in the past or whatever that you must make. Yeah, make to be bad for all the world or whatever. It's not their business. But yeah, it's not a bad thing. I like it, but
Well,
okay,
I often feel the days of Facebook have had it. They are losing.
it's
They're
done.
losing people left and right. Now their biggest audience, which is any the teeny boppers, 11 teen to whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
They've been losing that audience, which is like a majority of the people who and their new users that are on there. They're starting to lose that to Snapchat. Um, I
it's time for new
I think yes,
platform.
I think that the days of Facebook have had it, and especially since like I've been telling this, and with like your Facebook executive, you should really fucking listen, right? Content creators are leaving. Everything is moving from text based to video based, mostly because it gets the point across, and the average attention span of a normal human being is like 3 minutes, unless there's video and there's people moving around. Now you can get to the video part and people will not pay attention to you, but that's where things are moving to. It's a constantly evolving, but you have made a platform that is not, it's not it's not moving to where the people want. Now, a majority of people want to express themselves and be interconnected with the world, like the mission statement says in Facebook. But that's not how it's becoming. It's turning into this. You can't say this, and I can't say that, and we're gonna ban
Hmm.
you and shadow ban you. You know what? Like, I'd rather just be on fucking Twitter or no social media at all and not have to deal with this fucking bullshit. Like, I shouldn't have to worry or identify myself in a naming convention of myself. Why should I have to name myself? Why should I have to give you a government issued ID to keep my account?
Yeah, this made no sense. Yeah, I know.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, think about that. This is the biggest social media a site in the world, but you have to give them a government issued ID to keep your account. If it doesn't make any sense unless it's just a con for handing the information and profiling to the NSA, to the CIA, whatever the fuck that they're doing. I don't
That's
know.
wrong. Yeah, for big crimes maybe, but not for normal people like people that stand up or activists or they yeah they're using it now for controls a little bit too.
Well, it surprised
And
me that Snapchat is the new place to go to, even though I knew Snapchat. I hate Snapchat, dude. It's like a
I
big.
hate it too, me
I hate
too.
it. I
But
hate it.
everybody is using that.
Everybody's on it. Everybody's on it. But
Yeah.
that's essentially what Facebook is losing their new audience to, is the fucking Snapchat. Like,
Why is it?
I
What's so
don't
special about
I
it?
don't know, but they're losing the age group. They're new. It was like 11 to like 23. They're losing their users to Snapchat, and I have no idea. I've been saying this for a while that the new way to go is video content. A lot of people don't want to read, so they'll listen, and a lot of people don't have these big vlogging pages. So I guess it's the next best thing is, hey, all my friends want to see me pick my nose and do fucking dumb shit and cat videos and whatever. Like, that's where the shit's moving to. So, and I'm not sure if the censorship is as bad there on Snapchat. I remember, like, I haven't had a Snapchat account, guys, in like fucking 7 years. But I remember back
I,
in the
ha-
day, it was limited to like a couple of minutes worth of video. I don't know if it's evolved
I
since
have it,
then.
but I'm not on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the perfect thing is like social media. What's it?
Lane
What do
Jez
you think about it?
says,
What
isn't it the
is?
same as Instagram? Now, Instagram, Lane Jez, if you don't know, is owned by Facebook. The only difference is that
Yeah.
it is actually created independently before Facebook bought it out. But it was a picture based social media. But now it's become a little more with the video, and they still haven't released the RTMP where you can. What have they? Have they released? I think you can. Yes, you can stream directly with the alternate streaming content using Periscope incorporated into your Instagram account. But like, there is an advantage like where you can do the non-naming convention, and you don't have to worry about the censorship as much. But it's still owned by the same fucking company, Facebook. In fact, the Instagram headquarters is in the Facebook building. So
Yeah, it's the exact same system, of
it's the
course.
exact
Yeah.
same building.
Is,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
YouTube? Are they not working together too?
YouTube and
No, it's Google.
Google are the same company. Yeah.
Okay, Google
And
and
here's the thing, guys, is that what we've been learning on the back end from some of the people that are affiliated with this show is that even your G Plus accounts can be taken away from you now
mhm.
because of media content. So even Google on their social media accounts are moving away towards the way of censorship. So
We try to do it free, and that's that they don't want.
Like Google was actually more liberal than Facebook, like in the past. Like with the blogspot stuff, they were like allowing a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
true.
now we
They
found
could
out
go like,
if you say whatever's on your mind, they'll take away your account if it's politically motivated.
yeah, yeah. So they're like allowing everything to just gather all these people, and then when they have all them, then they start creating these weird rules for everyone. Like,
They've literally shooting themselves in the foot. The content creators are going elsewhere, and a lot of people come onto Facebook for different reasons, but there is a large crowd of people that don't just want to see your fucking cat videos and how your life is. There's a large majority of users that go and they're looking what else is like the little Periscope. Remember that old picture with the Periscope and the Facebook? Like, this is what a Facebook user looks like. He's looking at the world through Facebook, on Facebook. Well, that's kind of what the users really want to do. But now you're taking away a lot of that shit, and your Facebook is only allowing you to see what Facebook wants you to. And if it doesn't go along with all of that shit, then they're gonna boot you off. Like God, a lot of it's I don't know. They're just shooting themselves
it,
in the foot. I mean, there's so much potential.
yeah, because it could actually,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it could actually be like a great hub of for info, but yeah.
I guess.
What are the best social medias for using now? For it's like I don't use the other ones. I'm on
honestly,
Twitter, but
the most I'm strictly when it comes to anything. I've just been on Twitter because a lot of people
yeah,
it's not a better platform, but I'm not dealing with now. Is there censorship to the degree that Facebook does it? Of course there is, but I don't. It's not. I'm not. How should I say? It's not as bad as Facebook, but it's almost as bad. Same thing. YouTube is getting worse as well. So
yeah, YouTube is bad now
yeah.
too. I know.
Yeah, but you don't need an actual ID card for it. That's something. Like they're not asking for your fingerprints.
Yes, this is a downfall. You should not need a government issued ID to have a social media account, nor should you have to follow a naming convention of your name. Now, that is very weird unless it was a psyop to get all of you to put all of your information so we can document you and herd you off into the fucking, into the Cyclone B chambers. And we know who's bad or red. You know what I mean? Like,
it's time for a new kind of social media thing.
Well, a lot of people are trying it. Minds.com, I hate
Yeah.
to say this, they are failing miserably because they're still in their beta. They've been in beta for like 6 years now. So, and you have an IPO, and you got your own cryptocurrency, and you still can't get out of beta. Don't know what it's going to take. Don't know what it's going to take, man. I really don't. What else do we have that's going on here?
We had almost everything.
I think we've almost hit everything. Let me see if there's anybody saying on our Twitter feed. I don't know if anybody's saying anything.
Did we discuss the Monsanto thing already?
Oh no, we didn't talk about that.
No.
So yeah, you can inform us about that.
Yeah, so Monsanto is suing the petition site AVAC, AVAAC. They're forcing everyone who ever signed a petition against Monsanto to give the private information to them. Like they're forcing the website AVAC to give all this information to Monsanto, and they're doing the AVAC website put like a subpoena online, and they're demanding all these things, and they're suing them in the state of New York at the Supreme Court. It's weird, like. I think like it will like work create so much extra negative publicity for Monsanto to do this. Like you're talking about an activism site, and they were like just doing like a legit petition, and if people are like don't agree with the stuff you do, then they sign a petition. There's nothing illegal about this.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to get the records, just like we discovered in the J20. In the J20, that the federal government cannot subpoena you for. Or remember, they couldn't use the IP addresses for a site that you looked at for the gathering of what they were calling for the disrupt J20. Like there's like some of the shit. Some of the shit's like if you fight it, you realize that that the courts and the government are in the wrong, and so is Monsanto's in this. They are. I don't understand how it's even gotten this far and it wasn't thrown out.
Yeah, no, exactly. For Monsanto, it's such a bad publicity stunt that just don't do it. Like even if like it's all about one product, right? It's this one.
Is it Roundup?
Yeah, the glyphosate or something thing is like so hated by everyone.
Remember the guy said it was so
just
safe?
replace your product. You're a billion.
Yeah, the guy said it was so safe.
You're like $1 billion company. You can replace all these weird products. So who cares about this? Like, why would you make it worse for yourself like this? Like, yeah, you can have a failed product. Like Microsoft had like so many failed products, and it's still a huge company. Like the latest browser failed too. Like,
what is it? Edge.
Yeah, so there was a presentation of the Edge browser, and this guy was presenting it. It was Microsoft specialist.
Oh yeah, they fucking crashed.
It actually, yeah, it crashed, and he had to start like Google Chrome to continue the presentation.
Oh, speaking of Chrome, I guess Chrome has been declared not the most fast or secure browser anymore. In fact, they've declared it as the bulkiest now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the new Firefox anyway, but
I've always been more of a Firefox guy, but
me too, but not the new one.
But they've
always use.
But ever since they got involved with the net neutrality shit, there's all of these driver in support that won't like Hangouts won't support Firefox and all of this fucking bullshit. So.
Jay.
He can't hear us. He's not on the line. Oh, he is on the line.
Yeah.
he's
He's there. He is
it's
there.
All
news.
right, then just add him. Stop putting some.
Oh, Adam. That's it.
Just add him into the chat room.
Guys, I can't talk because my parents are in bed.
Oh, well, just add him.
Oh.
It's like 6 a.m.
I don't know what time it is in his country, but you can just add him.
Oh yeah, at Hankerin.
But you
Okay,
know,
wait,
I think the
okay.
French activists, the French activists had it to a point, where they burned down Monsanto's laboratory. Is that they had the right idea? Is that you guys are scum? Like What else is going on? I guess this has been popping up since we've been on. I guess there was a mass stabbing in China. This is all new to me. Yeah, and was it 33 people stabbed? It's declaring a terrorist incident. Let me see. NBC News. Yeah, 29 people injured and more than 130 were calling it a terrorist strike in Xinhua, and this is southwestern China. Saturday, it's already tomorrow over there. 4 of the attackers were shot dead, only 1 captured alive in mayhem, which broke out at 9 p.m. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, you know what? You know what was really weird that was kind of hush hush this week? The NSA shooting in Maryland, where they just said it was an isolated incident. That was the last we heard about it in the news.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. They just said there was a guy trying to drive the wrong way into the NSA headquarters, and they were shot. And they said it was an isolated incident, but that I don't believe so. I believe there's more to that.
Is that at Fort Meade security gate 3 in custody? That one?
Yeah, that one.
A black SUV attempted to access the NSA campus at Fort Meade.
Yeah.
Okay. NSA officer, a bystander, and a driver of the SUV was injured. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just like that. The story kind of dropped off.
You got feedback.
Yeah, it's John.
Oh.
You have the other browser open.
Yeah, because I was reading it like this browser open and it happens again. I don't know.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if anything comes out of that. They're more, like what's going on with the Las Vegas shooter. The more we're reading into it, the more that the overall story is leading towards a cover up. Let me see what our viewers are saying.
Is it okay now, the sound? Or?
Test. Yeah, it's fine now.
Test.
No, it's a little bit there.
Okay, so it's... Okay, 1 second.
There we go. Let me see, but immune. Hey, you want activism? Join the French Legion, the IRA. Acid Foxback Zelda. French and China are lined up for some positive changes. 3 rats.
Rats.
Huh.
You don't see the comments on the other platforms?
No? Nobody's been typing anything despite all the views. No. Oh my god. Let me see how much time we have left on the counter. We're kind of running out of topics.
1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my god. No, we have 1 hour. I don't have any more topics to go. Hmm.
At least we survived episode 100.
Hey, we should advertise the other places we're on now. We're on like vk.com and stuff.
Yeah, if you guys want to check us out, we're on where are we at? We're on VK, Twitter. We are also on Twitch TV, Periscope.
Oh yeah.
You can search us on Periscope and type in Anonymous Bites Back, and you will see us, which is also how we are incorporating streaming into our Twitter account. We should be on Instagram. Yeah, we should be on Instagram soon.
the text, yeah.
But I
You
don't.
publish it.
I don't see the value in truly having an Instagram account unless we become more of a social media platform, because that would be very labor intensive to start adding random people to our account. It's counterintuitive. I mean, but that could be another avenue that we would go into the future. I do want to thank all the people listening. It has been crazy that we've gotten this far, 100 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, good topics, some funny moments, some bad moments, and yeah.
We should say that we're at 100 episodes now for the international show, because we also got like the Europe episodes, of course, and then we would be at like 110 or something now. But yeah, so like a year, and we've done like 100 episodes at least,
And every time 4 hours almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah, I mean there was this one episode that we were this one platform that I was kind of interested. It was called Mixer, but it's a gaming platform that's only you can only run it with Outlook accounts, which I'm not too keen on, because everybody knows that Microsoft shit is easily hackable. So, but that might be another avenue to go towards. I mean, essentially, the sky's the limit. We can go to any platform that will allow us to stream there. Or so, if you have a suggestion, let us know. Just send it in the inbox. I see if we can work it out. But we will be in the upcoming shows be opening up more avenues to be streaming to other places than to Facebook, because it's so apparent even to us that we're shadow banned shit on Facebook.
Yeah, I should also add, we're not the only one who having this problem. I can see it happening on many pages. Facebook is shadow banning a lot of stuff, and this site is really going to shit right now. So
accounts going down, pages, groups.
There's pages out there. There's pages out there that don't even have admins. All right, good night.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, guys, can you drop me the logins for all the other platforms?
Like I already told you, I don't have them. They're cached, but for VK, you have to have a VK account, and then I could add you to the back end of that. But it's not like a login or anything. You have to have an actual social media account to get onto there. Then I can add you to the thing.
Kind of like Facebook.
Yeah, not all of them work like that. Yeah, they're all kind of different, Jay.
Yeah. Can I have the Twitter, the Twitch ones, can I, John?
Yeah. Just we can do that on the Discord. It's safer than on air.
Yes.
All right then. Good night, guys. Good night.
Good night.
All right.
But in the future, we will be seeing. I do have future plans on trying to see if we can get onto a streaming podcast and see if we can get onto there somehow.
Must be a way for do it without.
But I'm gonna need some other software. I'm gonna have to drop some money on some more software.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the stuff that we have will not. I mean, the stuff that we have is suffice for audio-visual capabilities, but in the future, we might need something more to do kind of a loop around to get onto some. But even podcasts are kind of like fucking like the way of the dinosaur. Lately, I mean, how many of your friends do you go around? Hey, do you listen to the newest fucking Lindsay Lohan podcast or whatever? Be like, what the fuck is a podcast, bro?
Yeah. We're also building on websites. It takes some work, but yeah.
Oh, Anonymous Worldwide, and we do have our Discord channel. We post it. I don't know if we post it regularly. If you guys want to have some, our viewers want to have some back end open communications that you won't have to worry about on your social media platform disappearing, we always have a Discord. We realize that Discord is not the most reliable place to have your comms, but regardless of whether our server's up, we'll make it again, and you'll have a safe place where people who've like-minded, who speak like you, and discuss things. What else is going on? I guess that kind of covers it. Maybe we should roll it with the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we talked about everything, then.
All right. We'll roll it with the credits right now. We will be back next week on Thursday at 6:30 Pacific time, and then we'll catch us then. I'd like to thank everybody to listen. Oh yeah, go ahead.
And then a European is gonna be the next. Gonna do European too, I think.
Oh yeah, I got.
Hey, and we got a commander. We got Commander X coming in soon too.
Oh yes, I forgot about that, and also I got to help you out to multi-streaming, Kevin, later on through the week. That's gonna help both of us out. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, so we're running out with the outro, and we'll go from there. And
Hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly.